Hi guys, how are you? I can see that a few of you are already in the chat, so I thought I'd start up a minute or so early. So who have we got? We've got Jugando con Lego Friends. Hi there, how are you? We've got Brett's Builds. Hi Brett, how you going, mate? A Tease is here. Hi Tease, how are you? I hope that you are all good. And you can see that I did do a little bit of a special background for tonight because I thought that it would be really nice to have a look at our water park again. And I think that a few of you were also talking about the little beach house as well, which I actually built off camera and I never filmed it. So I thought I'd pop that in the background as well. Corne is here as well. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. It's so lovely to have you all here. And then I also had to put the little ice cream truck in the background as well. One of the little poly bags that we built at some stage too with the hammock. And then Pucky and I are hanging out over there on the little flamingo floaty thingy bob. Oh, Tease, are you unwell? That's no good. Oh dear. That's going to be a bit of a bugger, but just rest up, get plenty of rest, get plenty of fluids. I think that, these things happen as well. So here we go. So shall we open up our first set? Let's get started and we can just wait for other people to pop in when they can. So I think this was the set that we'd agreed on a couple of streams ago, but because I got Hogwarts, I sort of jumped into Harry Potter World last week. So this will be the first set that we'll build up today, which is a really nice one. And then I also have gone through a few of my storage boxes and found a couple of the older swimming pools as well. Hi, Lego girl. It's so lovely to have you here. Oh, no, Atees, that doesn't sound very good at all. Yes, sometimes a little bit of a cold is terrible. Jugando con Lego Friends, hi, how are you? Oh, Raps is here as well. Hi, Raps, how are you? It's lovely that you're all here. Right, I've got to find my scissors. I'd put them specifically in a spot that would be easy to get to. Whoop. And then, of course, I forgot where I put them. So here we go. Oops. And I will have mini dolls falling all over the place in the background tonight as well. So aside from poor Atees, who is unwell with a cold, how is everybody else going? How are you going, Brett? I saw that you've been doing a few streams with a few people this week. So that's been really cool. I do want to try and catch up on a couple of streams during my working from home time. Oh, no, I actually do work from home, but you know what I mean. I don't mean working from home. So hopefully I might be able to watch one of the streams with you and Buckchop because that would probably be quite a good fun one to check out. And I've ended up with 2 sticker sheets in this set as well. So that's really nice that I've got extra stickers. That will come in handy. Cool. And then, yes, Corne did do a face reveal this week on Instagram, which is such a lovely photo, Corne. And, I think that it is really nice to be able to connect with people and people can put a face to our builds and our, in my case, my voice and my little hands as well. So it is sort of one of those things where it is sort of quite a nice thing to do. And it is sort of quite fun. I think it can be a little bit daunting. And, of course, we all have to be able to, be cyber safe and try and make sure that we're doing the right thing for ourselves. Right, I might just adjust this so you can see the build a bit better. Yes. Oh, today I knew that it was September and I knew that it was mid-September that I had uploaded my video, but I didn't remember the date. So that's so nice to know. I've absolutely had so much fun being on here. Hi, Amy. How are you? It's so lovely that you're here and joining in. So Jugando con Lego Friends just posted that it was 2 years ago that I uploaded my first video, which is really exciting. Like I say all the time, I just absolutely love, you know, getting to know you all and chatting about Lego and all of that sort of stuff. Cece from Cafe Con Lego did a really great video this week where she was sort of talking about, you know, trying not to compare ourselves to other channels and recognizing that we all have something to add in the community. And it's can be really difficult, I think, on social media not to acknowledge things like views and sub counts and all of that sort of stuff, since that's such a big part of how things work. Oh, my terrible webcam doesn't want to focus. Still, again. Let's try this. No, still not wanting to. Okay, let's just give up on that. So, yeah, it was a really nice video from CC. And I sort of did say that's it. Like, I mean, it is challenging. I mean, I'm 196 years old. Oh, Lego Maniac is here. I've just got to do this for Lego Maniac so that he can see that my special mug has arrived. I didn't even send them an email or catch up with them or anything. So it's really funny that I finally got my mug. And I wasn't really expecting it at all because it has been a little while. So I thought that I'd drink from my Lemaniac mug tonight. Yes, I absolutely love Andrea's clothes in this build as well, which is why I'm so disappointed that I can't show you her outfit in more detail. But them's the breaks with my funny little webcam. We'll just power on and get going. So, yes, it is awesome. No, the colours are really nice. I've just noticed that I think that one of my dining room lights is a little bit pinky at the moment. So it seems to just be a little bit dull in here. Like even the colours in these sets and this isn't really showing up to the vibrancy that I am experiencing in, you know, the real world. So, yes. So I think anyone heard the news? I think is this the news that you mean, Amy? I know that you and I were talking about that a little bit earlier in the week, which is really exciting. And obviously Rax is excited about that as well. And I think that it is so nice that we're finally getting Andrea's house. It's going to be really interesting to see the style of it and to see what it's going to look like, especially because it's such a long-awaited build. So when did we get Friends? We got Friends in 2012 and it's now it will be 2021 when we finally get Andrea's house for the first time. So almost 9 years into the line and we haven't had Andrea's house yet. Hi, Matt. How you going there, mate? I hope that you're doing well. So it is fantastic. So Andrea and Emma are Corney's favourite characters. Emma has the cutest clothes and Andrea's clothes are so fabsome and glam. Yes. I must admit that I do tend to like Emma's outfits, but I am a bit partial to the colour purple. So that may have something to do with it. And then I also quite like Olivia's outfits as well, but I think that that's also because I do, you know, I am a bit of a science nerd. not to the same sort of engineering capacity as what Olivia is, but in my own way. So that tends to be my preferences. What about the rest of you guys? Who do you prefer as well? Oh, they've released the names for the Disney sets. Oh, that's good. Let us know the news. So, and then we're also going to be some Raya and the Last Dragon sets. I don't know what Raya is the Last Dragon is. Oh, your own video got recommended to you? Oh, well, that's nice. My videos don't ever get recommended to me. I'm not sure that they get recommended to very many people. So it's nice to know that YouTube is getting your content out there, Cheese. One way or another. Yes, it would be really nice to have Livy return. I really liked her, but, you know, I like different coloured hair, and I thought that did she have purple eyes? I think that her and Aurora have purple coloured eyes, don't they? Which I think is really pretty. So Raya and the Last Dragon is a new Disney fully computer animated movie that's coming very soon. Yes, and Matt, that's what happens to me all the time as well. Oh, Brick Bunny's TV is here as well. I didn't see you pop into the chat. So hello, welcome. Yes, I constantly get recommended videos that I've already watched and channels that I've already subbed to. And I'm sort of like going, but if I go to my subscribe page, I can watch those videos. So I don't know why they're appearing on my home page. I'd prefer to find something new, like try and find more content that I would enjoy on my home page. So, but I don't know whether or not that's just because the YouTube algorithm gets very confused. So, here we go. Oh, Brick Bunny's TV, you snuck in. Yes, good. Be sneaky. Sneaky and sneakers. And then what's Rat saying? I think that because this year's advent calendar has 2 micro dolls, what if we finally have toddlers? Oh, and we see Liz, her sister. Yes, that's going to be interesting. I do think that we may be due to have different sized mini dolls, you know, because we've got the micro dolls, haven't we? And we've also gotten the little micro elves in the advent calendar too. So you may be onto something there, Raps. But as Amy and I constantly find, what we tend to guess, Lego does not do. So there's our little pineapple pool float. So we can put that over there. So, yes, Livy had all the beautiful skirts, which I absolutely adored, with the sparkles because, you know, more sparkles, the better. The brighter, the more colourful, the more sparkly. I just absolutely love it. Yes, and she had a little star on her cheek, didn't she, which was so cute. I loved that. Pink and blue hair, yes. I've got quite a few pink and blue hairs, which happens to be the same hairstyle as Ariel, isn't it? The Popstar house, yes. I've modified that set, which I love. The pink microphones, yes. Yes, agreed. And I think that they did really spend a lot of time developing her persona as well. A couple of my favourite builds that we got in that was the Popstar bus, because I really liked the sort of engineering that went in behind being able to slide that apart and push that back together again. I thought that was really cool. I thought that the spa-style bathroom was really good as well. Was that in that bus? And so that was really cool. Just... Yes, we'll go and make sure that the children aren't destroying anything important, Matt. Possibly, but I think that there is the potential to have shorter legs on our little mini dolls, much like how LEV Toys built her shorter mini dolls. And can you hear Pucky drinking? Oh, he's stopped now. Yeah, much like how our minifigs have the 3 different sized legs as well. So that's more what I'd be hoping for. We've got another little flamingo floaty. So that's really nice. So we'll have to see. So the Disney princess sets, we've got Raya's Palace, we've got Raya's Dragon. Yes, love a dragon. So that I'm very excited about that. We've got Raya's Boat, Brunei the Salamander Build, Elsa and the Nook Storybook Adventure, Ariel Celebration Boat, and Cinderella's Carriage. Okay, so we've got another celebration boat. So we have had a celebration boat in the past, and I really enjoyed that original celebration boat. So that's going to be interesting to see how they update that one. And then what else do we have? Oh, another Cinderella's Carriage. It seems like every other year we get a Cinderella's Carriage. So that's not much of a surprise. And then another Frozen set, which will be nice because hopefully I will be able to include that in my little Frozen section of my Lego City. Oh, yes. Wow, Corner. Yeah, it is. It's so special when we hold memories to certain, moments and things hold that sentimental value to us as well. The Lego sets that I built with my niece are always, near and dear to my heart as well, because I just always value time with, my niece and my nephews. They live in the UK, so we don't get to see each other as often as what we would like. But obviously, it is also one of those things where when we do spend time together, we get quality time. And I think that sometimes that's really important. So, yes, 1 million carriages for Cinderella, another carriage for Cindy. Yes, and that's the type of thing that I would be looking forward to, is if we got a few more unique characters in some of the sets. I think that would be really cool. Even Amy and I were talking about the Aurora's cottage, and I sort of said it would have been so nice to have gotten the 3 fairies, so the blue, the red and the green fairy in that set. Admittedly, we did get admittedly, we will be getting Maleficent. I haven't been able to get those sets yet. They still haven't even come up as coming soon on the Australian Lego website. So hopefully that will be happening. But I think maybe they might be arriving later. So Brick Bunny's just hoping for a goat. Easily, please. Just give Bunny a goat and it's all good. I think that you wouldn't be the only person that would be wishing for goats as well. And admittedly, the goats are super cute. So I can definitely understand the passion for Lego goats. Yeah. So Raps is saying her most valuable sets are the pizzeria and the gym because childhood friends gave them to her as a present, which is so lovely. And then, yes, Tiana definitely needs more sets, definitely. Miranda from Brave also needs more sets. We've only had 1 Snow White as well, which is really surprising considering that we get 1 million Cinderellas. But maybe Snow White isn't as popular as Cinderella for whatever reason. I don't know. We still haven't got a Pocahontas, but I'm not too sure if we ever will get a Pocahontas. This is a very weird little thing. Okay. And who else haven't we had very many of? I'm trying to think. It was really nice that we got more Moana sets. I thought that that was really cool. But yes, it would be really nice to get more Tianas. And even though we have had quite a few handful, like we've had a handful of Beauty and the Beast sets, but I just really would love other outfits. And I know that that's probably a lot to ask because, you know, the gold ball gown is so iconic, but I just sort of went the most recent Winter Castle, that set would have been absolutely fantastic to have gotten that beautiful, you know, rosy, pinky red hood and the cloak with a beautiful pink dress underneath it, with the fur trim. I was just saying that would have been such a nice addition to our, you know, Beauty and the Beast Belle mini dolls. So yes, even though we do get sets, having them appear in the same outfit over and over again is not fantastic either. Pocahontas, yes. Yes, agreed. We need pigs, cows and goats. It was really cool that we got little Pua the pig in the Moana sets. I think that he's just so adorable. And in the movie, he just reminds me a little bit of Pucky as well. I don't know why, since Pucky is not a piglet, but, you know. Yes, they do have a pig in the Burrow set, definitely. But I think it is quite interesting that when we look at the Friends, like the Lego Friends and the Disney Princess animals, they are a little bit different to like the non-mini doll animals, if that kind of makes sense. So it'll be interesting. Yes, Atees, go and have a sleep, rest up. So the new Batwing, Batmobile was something great. Yes, Brick Bunnies, if you need to go off and have a sleep too, that's fine as well, mate. There's no, you know, pressure to hang around. It is just really fun and chilled out here. I'll just be chatting away as I'm building. And I think somewhere in here, Amy, oh yes, oh good. I'm glad that you retyped that because I did lose that. I wanted to talk about the Friends sets as well. So what have we got? We've got vet clinic rescue. We've got vet clinics. We've got a rescue buggy. We've got a vet clinic ambulance, a vet helicopter, doggy daycare again, another shopping mall, and then Andrea's house. So that's our little bit of a friends list. And, you know, we do have a lot of vet sets. We have had lots of vet sets in the past. I don't really mind the vet sets because obviously I do like animals. And possibly in a vet set, that would be the perfect place to include, I don't know, a dog or a piglet. Just throwing that concept out there. But, oh, hang on. I might just go and grab a little dish to put all my extra pieces in. So I won't be a sec. Oops. I just sort of woke Pucky up. He was having a bit of a doze, and then as I yelled and ran past him, he did not look very impressed. Oopsies. So what are your thoughts with these sets, around the Friends sets, you guys? If, you know, like I was saying, I don't really mind the vet sets. But it would be nice if we had like something new with them. So rather than just being a standard vet set, it might be nice to do like a farmyard vet Or one of the suggestions that I made to Amy the other day was around having like an Arctic vet set, so we could have polar bears and snow foxes and that sort of thing. Again, it's unlikely that this will ever happen with an Australian vet. Puppy, it's okay, love. So, oh yes, and then there's a cinema as well. So that's going to be nice because I don't think, well, we haven't had a cinema before, have we? So I'm looking forward to that one, which should be a really cool, fun build, especially because we got Mia's Cube with the 3D glasses in the cinema as well. So that's quite good. And then so you got 2 Heart Lake malls, and then your workmate sold me all his daughter's friends collection, and you inherited another Heart Lake mall. I've had a few sets like that as well. I every now and again I do go online and see if I can find any secondhand friends bulk lots. It's a lot harder now, obviously, due to people needing to stay inside and that sort of thing. But also, since Lego Masters has been out, a lot less people have been selling their secondhand Lego. Or if they are, they're not really selling it at very affordable prices, which is fine. If they want to keep their Lego, that's all good. It just means that it's a bit harder to sort of come by. But yeah, I think I've ended up with multiple like cupcake shops. I've got quite a few different hospitals, like the older hospital, not the most recent one. So there's a few sets like that where I've just got lots of them. And then there's one particular horse trailer and little Jeep that I have just had so frequently as well, which again is fine because that's sort of quite a nice build as well, with quite a varied colour palette as well. So not the standard sort of Friends colour palette either. So that's all okay. But yeah, it is sort of quite funny how we end up with the same things over and over again. And then we've got, yes, I have seen that little bit of news. So that's really good. It should be quite interesting and exciting. Although I do notice on the Lego plastic bags is that they are recyclable. So I always put my Lego bags in my recycling bin. So hopefully that means that they're not going to waste. They do actually go off and get recycled and reused, which would be awesome. But I think that obviously paper is a lot better for the environment in the long run, I think. But I'm not a huge expert when it comes to those sorts of things. I just try and do my best and follow the guidelines, but I haven't been able to do heaps of my own personal research into figuring out all of that stuff. But I do think it is wonderful. Oh, Mia's pug cube. Oh, but still my beating heart. That's just awesome. Wow. So we've got, who have we got? Olivia's flamingo cube, Emma's Dalmatian cube, Stephanie's cat cube, and Andrea's bunny cube. Oh, that's nice. So that's good that Andrea isn't getting Pepper again. And Olivia is getting a flamingo, which is a little bit different as well, since I think that she usually ends up with Zobo the robot or hamsters. Emma's Dalmatian cube. So again, that's a little bit different. So that's not Chico the cat. So that's kind of cool too. Stephanie cat cube. So again, a bit different. That's not Dash the dog as per usual. Yeah, so that's cool. Awesome. Yes, take care, Brick Bunnies. It was lovely to have you here. Building a spaceship mock and cleaning your build table sounds like a wonderful Saturday, Brett. I must admit that I did a little bit of Lego sorting today as well, especially before I came on here. So I did manage to get a few more parts put away that I usually because usually I have all my little random extra 1x1s and little bits and pieces that I just put into like little yogurt containers like this, and then every now and again, once they start to fill up a bit more, I try and put them away into all my storage drawers. So I was able to do some of that today, which was really good. And what was the other thing? Oh, yeah, and then I had to try and find a home for Hogwarts because the microscale Hogwarts is huge. It's so big. I don't know whether or not any of you saw the photo on Instagram that I posted, but it basically took up my entire dining room table. So I'm going to have to revisit some of my other Lego storage areas and probably put some more sets into storage. And I have been going through and going through all my storage boxes and trying to just condense down some of my sets a bit further, because sometimes when I have been putting away sets, I don't actually completely unbuild them so that they end up being quite bulky. But I have started to go through and completely unbuild all the ones that I know that I won't be able to display in my Lego room for a little while. But I think that you guys are aware that I am planning to rotate some of my Lego room themes around. So there will be some things in there that will be more permanent than others, but I'm hoping to be able to sort of switch things over a little bit more frequently. And I really like the idea of being able to switch things over between like older sets and newer sets, particularly if they're like similar themes, like the jungle theme sets. Like I really liked the original jungle theme set, so it was really nice to see that we got more jungle sets this year. And so that's going to be one of my little temporary areas in my Lego room, is being able to do like a little jungle theme area and combine all of those sets in together. I think that that would be really good fun. So yes, but in the meantime, Hogwarts is temporarily put somewhere in a spare room, but I don't think that that's going to be its permanent location. So that's going to be an interesting one. Cool, yes. So Amy's building more cubes, which is really exciting. So yes, Amy, you definitely have to let us know which animal you get and what colour it is once you've got that one built. And I think that some of you will also be pleased to know that I have got all the summer cubes. So I was really surprised because I actually ordered my Mia's summer cube and another set, which is one of the Avengers sets. I know that not all of you guys are into the Avengers stuff, but I actually like some of the Avengers Lego sets from Lego. After about a week or so after I had ordered Diagon Alley, and Mia's cube and the Avengers set showed up this week. And Diagon Alley isn't arriving until next week. Or that's what the shipping company has told me. So we'll see. We'll see if it arrives when it's supposed to arrive. But yes, that's where I'm up to with my Lego deliveries, which is really interesting. Well, actually, no, it's not that interesting. But to me, I was very baffled by all of that. And I know that on Steve's stream a week or so ago, we were talking about some of the weird and wonderful ways that Australia deals with shipping items, because I'm pretty sure that the Diagon Alley set that I'd ordered was coming from New South Wales, which would need to go through Victoria, but somehow it ended up in a depot in Melbourne, and then it was sort of repackaged there. And I was sort of like going, I don't know why that happened, because Melbourne is probably, well, it's not that great. Like they've had to be in really quite intense lockdown because of transmission of COVID and all of that sort of stuff. So I was sort of like going, out of all the places to be repackaging something, I'm not too sure whether or not Melbourne's really the smartest move there. But anyway, it will be on a truck for quite a while before it arrives in my little house. So hopefully everything will be fine. But yes, I would have thought they would have probably just been trying to do a bit of a diversion around Melbourne. I think regional Victoria is going okay. So, oh, yeah, that's okay. It's all good. You haven't missed much, just me rambling on. You know what it's like. You've been in these streams before, Raps. I like to talk. Yes, I know. It is a very exciting set to be getting. So I'm very excited to be able to get mine so quickly, especially because I waited for such a long time to save up for Hogwarts, the microscale version. And this time, I don't know what happened. It wasn't a very smart financial move to get them both so close together, but it's all good. You know, I'll just power through another week of being very frugal with my money, and then it should be okay. I should be back to normalish again. And I must admit that I do like how they do the little lockers in a lot of these swimming pool sets, because they always seem to put really cute little stickers and stuff on them. And this one is no exception. So I'm loving this. I don't know whether or not my webcam will want to show you the sticker or not. We'll see. Yay! Look at how cute it is with the funny little fish. So no, nothing important, Raps. I can't even really remember what we were talking about. Different Lego sets, and the Australian postal system, which is very strange at the moment. But again, nothing particularly worth noting. So on to the next little sticker for this set. Yes, I'll just check how I did the last one and try and line them up a bit. Oh no. I put it on upside down, guys. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Oh, right. Take two. I know that visually it's not very exciting at the moment, but there we go, on the right way. I think that's a little jellyfish, which again is actually really quite cute. I do really like the a lot of the graphic design that the Lego Friends line has been coming out with over the last few years. And again, even like the outfits on the mini dolls, I think have sort of really stepped up a notch over the last couple of years as well, which is so awesome to see. So I definitely think that their outfits have gotten a lot cuter. So yes, I know. But I think the main thing is that because the postal system is so weird at the moment, I can't be sure that I will be getting it next week. So I think that that's even worse. Like, if I knew that the set was definitely coming in 3 weeks, I think I'd feel more comfortable with that rather than just not knowing exactly when it was going to arrive at all, which is kind of where I'm up to at the moment. I just don't really trust I don't trust the courier service that Lego chooses to use in Australia, because it's very strange. They do some very weird things. Oh, hey, Doc, how you going? Yes, I'm building swimming pools. That's it. I've had 2 days of rain or 2 days of sunshine, and I thought, this is it. I'm going all out and I'm building swimming pools. And funnily enough, it was actually raining really, really hard right before I started streaming as well. So I was thinking to myself, this is going to be very weird, that there'll be thunder in the background while I'm building swimming pool sets. So yes, the high school sets I actually thought were really cool as well. Like, one of my favourite things from one of the high school sets is actually the school bus. I think that school bus that they designed for the Lego Friends line was one of the better school buses that I've seen Lego come out with. And I think that it's like a really nice size as well. So, oh, a yellow seahorse. Yay! What is my favourite Lego Friends swimming pool? I think it is. So far, it's this one, which I think if I get this swimming pool built, then I might try and build this one on the stream as well. So we'll see how I go. But I do have this one. Obviously, I've already unboxed it and everything, but it's been taken apart. So I'll have to just go through my little Ziploc bags, dump them all out, and then build this. This was, I think, the first Lego Friends swimming pool, which is also kind of cute, but there were a few things where I just sort of went, not as nice as this one. Like, I think that with this one, I really like the aquarium here, and I thought that the way that they did the slides was really nice. And even this build over here with the little cabana and the spa, I thought was really cool too. So far this one, but we'll see how we go with this one as well, because I think that this one looks really nice on the box. So we'll see. What about you guys? Which swimming pool do you guys prefer? Are there any preferences? Are there any ideas about what you guys have liked? I also saw a really fantastic build, and I can't remember the name of her channel, unfortunately, but she did a fantastic, like, modified build of the swimming pools, but she did them in, like, snow. So it was like an ice pool, which made me think of, like, the thermal springs that you can get in some of the Scandinavian countries. And I just thought that was such a unique take on, being able to mock and modify a swimming pool set. It was just really cool. So if I can't even really remember the name of that channel, but it was awesome. I have subscribed to her, but she hasn't done very many videos, and she's actually a T-foal as well. Going into autumn and I'm building swimming pools. Yeah, so I've got to try and just scratch together the last remnants of anything to do with sunshine at the moment. So as we're starting to sort of heat up over here, you guys will be starting to cool down. And I thought this is probably going to be my last chance to build this swimming pool set, which has been in its box for ages. So, but at least we can dream and we can pretend that we're surrounded by sunshine, and it's beautiful swimming pool weather. Oh, the Grand Hotel, yes, that is such a beautiful set. I haven't ever met anyone that hasn't liked that build. Everyone that I know just absolutely raves about the Grand Hotel, myself included. I think that the concept and the theme and the colours that they selected, everything was just absolutely beautiful. They did such a good job of developing that build. Even like the black cab, like the black taxi, was such a great little addition into that build as well. So yes, definitely one of my faves. And I think, like what Brick Bunny was saying earlier, I think that that's also been one of the sets that I've ended up with quite a few of. admittedly, for quite a long time, I did specifically go in search of them because I was doing my modified Grand Hotel where I actually made it larger. So I did specifically try and find secondhand ones of that close by to make it a bit more affordable. And it just ended up being one of those sets that kept on popping up everywhere for me. And obviously no complaints there. The second swimming pool is also Cornet's favourite and renovated it a while ago in an Aladdin-themed pool. Oh, yes. Yes, definitely. Fantastic idea. And Grand Hotel is also one of Cornet's favourite builds as well. Yeah. Like I said, I think that that's been such a hugely popular set. Like I see it even all the times in a lot of, Lego cities where the person is much more likely to be buying city sets or creator sets or even like the creator expert modulars and that sort of thing. So many times I've sort of ended up, having a look at someone's city and there's the Grand Hotel. And there's also been a few really nice modified builds of that as well. I saw a really nice one where they had renovated it so it was like a corner modular sort of style, but still with all the same sort of colour theme and all of that going on as well. So that was a really sort of unique interpretation. Okay, I'll keep going. I feel like I've missed something, but maybe I haven't. So, oh, thanks so much, Raps. It is one of those builds where it was probably one of my most earliest modified builds, and it's also still one of the builds that I'm really proud of. So I think that that's when I know that I'm happy with something, because quite often I'll just keep tinkering with a build until I get it so it feels right to me or looks right to me, if that sort of makes a bit of sense. And I think that sometimes I do tend to build quite slowly because I will have either a very clear vision in mind about how I want something to look, or I'll just keep building until I get it the way that I want it to look. So, even with my art cafe, I fussed over that for such a long time. And there's been a few other builds which I must admit are taking me a very long time as well, because I have to keep sort of looking at them in different ways and on different angles and stuff. So, and that's why it's been quite funny when anyone sort of goes, oh, you go on and try out for Lego Masters. That's also been a bit of a hot topic when I've been on stream with Steve Reynolds. It's like I'm the slowest builder when it comes to building my own designs. It takes me forever. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes it does. A lot of the time it takes me a long time. I think with the Grand Hotel, I knew that I wanted it to be an extra story high and I wanted it to be double width. So once I sort of had settled on that, then I sort of did that. And the other thing that I also wanted to have was like the little, the other two things that I wanted was the sort of piano bar area that I wanted to have more like a big glass sort of atrium type thing. And then I also wanted an area on the balcony for tea, like for tea and coffee, with the little pink umbrella and that sort of thing. So I think that once I'd settled on that, it made a lot more sense to me. Oh, really? I haven't seen that movie, no. Oh, yeah, a little bit, yeah. I think I'm really liking like the rocks and stuff. I might actually let's just put those in the little bucket over there as well, but we know that that's where those things go. Yeah, I'm really liking like the rocks over here with the flowers. I think that that's looking really cool. But I also think that is, a little bit reminiscent of like the aquarium area on this swimming pool as well. So I can sort of understand why Lego has gone in that direction. We're up to bag number 3. Oh, hello Digital Magazine, how are you? It's lovely that you've popped in here. It's always great to see you. How have you been? What's been happening? So, oh my gosh, yes. It's interesting that you say that, Raps, because I think that so many countries do have different release dates for everything, and I think that that's been one of the things that I've been panicking a little bit about, because I haven't been able to find Aurora's Cottage or the newest Rapunzel's Tower. But fortunately, Amy did remind me that they might be coming out in October or November for me. And I think that she is right, because I think that quite often in Australia, they do try and release some of the Disney sets closer to Christmas, so that then they get picked up as Christmas presents over here. Because I think that a lot of the Disney princess sets are more targeted to some of our younger builders. I still build them, clearly, so they're not just targeted towards them, but potentially that's who. Now I have to just try and figure out which way I need to do this. This direction? Okay, this direction I think is where I've got to go. I end up getting very confused sometimes if I don't have the picture and the set going in the right direction. I can go a bit askew. So that must be really, oh my God, I can't even imagine only getting new Lego sets. Is it once a year that you get them then? So they have, so like normally in Australia, we get 2 waves of Lego sets. We get them sort of like December, January, and then we get a second wave of Friends sets sort of like June, July. I don't know how I would be able to survive with only one wave of Lego coming out per year. Excellent. So, yes, yes, I do. I definitely think that it would be really nice to be able to combine a lot of these, like the water park and the swimming pool sets all together. I also think that the resort, the Lego Friends Resort, would look really nice next to this water park. And I also think that the beach house that we got previously, that was like the pale yellow colour, would also look really nice next to this beach house. So I think that potentially one of my little temporary areas that I'll do in my Lego city will be something along these lines. And then I also think that it would be really cute to try and add in a few of like some of the smaller sets. I was going to say the party boat that we built the other week, but that wasn't a very small set. But I think that would go really nicely with this. But things like the little juice truck, I think would also be really cute, because I think that the juice truck and the little ice cream van would look really nice in like a little beachside area and that sort of thing. So there are so many areas and like combinations of sets that I would absolutely sort of love to build at some stage or another. But it's finding the time to be able to do all of that. So yes, Rapunzel, I think that again, if you're building a Rapunzel's Tower mock, that would be absolutely awesome. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you will be able to share that with us at some stage or another. I'm always super keen to see other people's mocks and modified builds, even if it's not on YouTube, because sometimes that's a bit tricky to do, but possibly over on Instagram or somewhere. It would be really nice to see some of that, definitely. Right. Okay, where am I? What am I doing? What's going on? I think. Like, oh, okay, right. Yes, that's like that. And then that's like that. I'm just having to concentrate for a mere moment or two. Oh dear. There we go. Right, so we've got a few slide pieces in here as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, you might be right there, Amy. You've usually got a pretty good idea about what's going on with that sort of stuff. And that sounds like something that would happen. If they want to sort of do a bit more of a push of the Raya and the Last Dragon sets, then they may have snuck in the Disney princess sets a bit early for you guys. That sounds a bit about right. It'll be interesting to find out whether or not Australia is going to have Raya and the Last Dragon released at the same time as the rest of the world, because quite often we don't. And that was one of the really frustrating things with the Lego movie too. I think that you guys sort of got that around Christmas or New Year, like the actual movie. And in Australia, I don't think that we got it until like March or April. So then it was really quite weird to try and buy sets and for people to try and, like, for stores to actually try and sell the Lego Movie 2 sets, because nobody really knew what it was all about unless you're a Lego enthusiast like us who keep up with all the latest Lego news. But I don't think that that's the bulk of people who buy Lego. I think that it is more sort of opportunistic people that just sort of go, oh yeah, that looks like something that my kid would like to build. But if they see something and they don't even understand what it is or where it's come from, or that there's even going to be a movie in existence, then it's less likely that an aunt or a grandma or an uncle or whatever is going to then get that as a gift or a present or whatever. Does that sort of make sense? I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to ramble already, and we're not even an hour in. So we've got, when Lego releases sets that we got, I mostly get them and combine them with their previous incarnation. Yes, and make them bigger. Yeah, I think that that's a really great thing to do. Like, especially I think as we like start to become like older builders. So once we've been building, like what you were saying earlier, Raps, is that you've now been, you know, enjoying Lego Friends for 5 years or something, is that once we start to build up more of a collection, then we can sort of do different things with it and sort of expand on it and modify it and mock it and all of that sort of stuff as well, which is like one of the really enjoyable things about having Lego sets. And I always think, you know, if you sort of modify something, or if, you know, you mock it and change it, you end up don't liking it, the brilliant thing with Lego is that you can take it all apart and follow the instructions and build it how it was supposed to be done in the first place. So, you know, and I think that that's just sort of so much fun, is being able to sort of go, yeah, this is, you know, we can sort of change things around a bit. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is. It's very strange. Well, it's not strange that they've postponed it again, obviously, because I think the first Wonder Woman movie, I really enjoyed that. I was one of those sad, weird people that I went and saw Wonder Woman in the cinema with one of my good friends, and her and I have had, you know, running Wonder Woman jokes for quite a few years between us. She is one of our favourite superheroes, both for myself and for Carly. And I remember sitting in the movie theatre watching that movie, and there were moments in that film where I was just crying, because it was so exciting to see such a fantastic character finally come to the big screen and, you know, be done justice. I just thought, you know, the storyline was so good to be able to, you know, like do the origin story straight out the gate. It was also really nice. Like I thought Gal Gadot just was such a amazing, you know, selection to play Wonder Woman. Yeah, it was just absolutely fantastic. So I feel for both Doc and Corne. I am in complete agreement with you both that it is just going to be tough not to have our follow-up of Wonder Woman. And it, like, I mean, I quite often I do try and avoid spoilers as much as I can. Even for things like the Diagon Alley set, I've been really trying hard to avoid any spoilers for that. So I haven't been watching anybody else's reviews. I know that Sarah Star Bricks has been doing her Diagon Alley on a live stream as well. And I really enjoy watching Sarah's live streams, although I usually have to watch them like as a follow-up, usually during the week when I'm working from home. But I've still been trying to avoid it, and I've been trying not to watch it because I want to have the surprise of being able to unpack everything and to build everything up and not to know, you know, the little Easter eggs and the little, you know, surprises and secrets that the Lego designers usually put into the sets. And even for Hogwarts, that was really cool as well. So I really enjoyed being able to sort of I had, to be honest, I did actually watch some speed builds of the Hogwarts microscale because I didn't think that I was ever going to be able to get that set. And quite often, if I know that I'm not going to be able to get a set, then I usually binge everybody else's YouTube videos in order to get some sort of satisfaction. But fortunately, because they were such a long time ago, it meant that then I didn't really remember exactly, you know, when things were going to happen and how many mini microfigs and that sort of stuff we were going to get and everything. So it was really nice to have a few surprises in there. So it was really good. But for Diagon Alley, I want to try and avoid spoilers as much as possible because I think that that's going to just be such a fun build. So I've got to top up with my Lemaniac juice. So supposed to oh yes, yeah. But you know, I think it's just going to be one of those things where, you know, it's sad and it's frustrating that we are having to change how we've come to live our lives. But I also, you know, think to myself, it's hopefully it's only sort of temporary, and hopefully we will be able to sort of go back to how we have been able to live and travel to some extent in the past. I don't think that it's ever going to be the same again, but hopefully we will to some extent. But I also think to myself, you know, there are people out there that have obviously had worse things than, you know, missing the Wonder Woman movie. So, you know, I think it's also just about being able to voice our frustrations about missing out on things that we've been looking forward to, but also be able to like put them into perspective as well. And just, you know, try and make sure that we're keeping each other's spirits up as well a bit, and just being able to remind each other that it is just about, you know, coming back and caring for each other and looking out for each other. You know, even today I was rewatching some of not rewatching, but I was watching some of Dr. McBrick's videos that I had sort of missed out on just over time and what have you. And, you know, he has some really serious health issues and health concerns, and he does have a compromised immune system, and so he was doing his best to try and remind people to wear their masks and be considerate and, you know, look out for each other. And I think that obviously for people who are immunocompromised is that they've had to change how they sort of live a lot more compared to many of us who aren't in that sort of danger zone or whatever. But I think that it's also going to have to be a matter of getting creative with things as well. So, you know, being able to sort of just go, well, if people can't really go to the cinema or whatever, then, you know, I think that they released Mulan just on the Disney network or whatever they call it, didn't they? I don't know. I don't really have any streaming services. So I just watch YouTube the whole time. I was actually catching up with some of my friends yesterday. It was to do with work stuff, but we happen to work in a very similar area. So we sort of did a half work catch up and a half friend catch up, which was really nice. And I can't even remember where I was going with that story. Oh my gosh, my brain is just in such a weird state of brain fog at the moment. So, Corne, you're not supposed to be giving me spoilers. So, Lego regrets. You should really call them most wanted sets, perhaps, because you don't know what's going to be happening in the future. There may be some sort of a weird surprise where you might actually end up being able to find them or get hold of them. Maybe not, but I always like to live in hope. Disney Castle, yes. That obviously I, you know, have been lucky enough to get my little paws on that one. But yeah, that is just a very beautiful build. Heart Lake City Resort, yes. I think that that's also a very awesome build. Okay, I think that the banana and the carrot are going to have to go in the little bucket behind here as well. Just pop that over there. Emma's house and Livia's house. Yes, I do. I really like Emma's house, obviously, because it's purple. So I'd agree with that one. Heart Lake High School and Heart Lake Airport. Yep. It's been nice that we have got another aeroplane, though. I think that that's been really cool. And yeah, well, yeah, because we've got another aeroplane, and then we got the really large one that was sort of purple that came with the airport, and then we also got the private jet that was sort of white with a little bit of the azure colour on it as well, didn't we? So that was all the aeroplanes that we got, yes. And then the high school, which one do you mean, Raps? Do you mean the yellow one, or do you mean the tan one? And the Cupcake Cafe, the one with Naomi. I think that that's the one that I've ended up with double ups of or triple ups of, which you probably don't want to hear about either. I'm sorry. But I would actually say that one of the items that is on my most wanted list is Cinderella's Romantic Castle. I do have a lot of the Disney princess sets, but I have missed some of Cinderella's sets, mainly because she's not my favourite Disney princess. Other people can love her, and that's fine, but she's not my favourite, and she does get a lot of repetitive sets, but I do think that the Romantic Castle is probably one of the sets that I would like to add in my collection. Because I do have some Cinderella sets, but that one is one of the ones that I'm missing. But I think that's one that I would also be quite happy with getting secondhand as well. So Disney Plus, you guys are saying, yeah, good. As long as you guys know what I'm talking about and can translate that for me as well, then I'm happy with that. Because I don't, yeah. like I said, I don't stream. I don't have Netflix. I don't have any of that sort of stuff. I don't actually even have a TV aerial. So I do have a television set, and I recently upgraded to a smart TV so I could watch YouTube on my TV, which I really enjoy. And then I also watch DVDs on my television, and that's it. So I don't even have commercial television, which is cool. Like, that's why I'm happy to be able to check in on so many people's videos and stuff, because I've got the time to be able to do that, which is much more my sort of thing than commercial TV anyway. So then we've got Cornet is going with Disney Castle. Yes, that's a popular one. It's a very beautiful build as well, I hate to tell you guys. Ninjago City and Ninjago City Docks. I think that I would also probably quite like both of those as well, but I'm very, very reluctant to delve into the Ninjago City theme, because I think that would be a very, very slippery slope for me, because then I would also want all the Ninjago dragons, and I can just see the money flying out of my bank account now. So I'm reluctant for that. And then the Hogwarts Castle, I'm assuming, and then all the Hogwarts normal scale sets. And I'm assuming, Cornet, you mean in the most recent wave of like the Wizarding World stuff. Ghostbusters headquarters on the Disney train station as well, yes. Oh, and Pirates of Barracuda Bay. I agree that set does look really cool too. I think that that's a really, really nice build. That's also been one of those ones where I have binged watched every, man, woman, child, dog, cat, and anyone else that got that set. I binge watched all of their videos, because that's also probably one that I won't be getting. But it's one that I really love the look of. And then Raps's Lego Regrets is Heart Lake City Summer Pool, Stephanie's Sports Day. Yeah, one of those sporty Stephanie ones, definitely. And then all the Lego elves. Oh, I know. So many people came to the elf theme late, Raps. You're not the only one, mate. Like, yeah, so many people I know just fell in love with that set or that theme, either in its fourth and final wave or just after it had been discontinued. And as many of you know that have been listening to me ever, that is my favourite Lego theme of all time. Like, obviously that's why I do my elf display shelves and all of that sort of stuff, because I just love the elves builds. I just think that whole theme was just such my thing, such my aesthetic, just all over it. Oh no. Uh-oh, I'm missing a tile. Oh well, I'll have to come back to that. Oh no, hang on, I can see it. There we go. Whew. Excellent. And the Batwing, and you can hang it on the wall. Oh, Winnie the Pooh, yes, Amy. See, you and I tell you, our minds are just, they think alike. I would actually really like more than just one Winnie the Pooh set anyway. Like, I think that Winnie the Pooh deserves more than just one set. It would be nice if we got like a handful. That would be just my jam. Rabbit, oh my gosh, yes, agreed. Like, I just sort of go, I can just see with Winnie the Pooh, it would be great to get Pooh Corner. It would then be really nice to get like Piglet's house. We would have to have Rabbit's burrow because of that iconic moment where Winnie the Pooh gets stuck in the bunny hole. I think that Al also had like a really charming treehouse type thing as well, didn't he? And so that would be really nice to get too. And then, of course, we would need to have Tigger and Eeyore included in that somehow or another as well. So for me, I just sort of go, oh, I would just, you know, it would be just combining Winnie the Pooh and Lego together for me is just, that would be magical. A dream come true. So, yes, I think that that would be awesome. Yes, everyone's agreeing. Amy saying, yes, Winnie the Pooh's her childhood. Raps also loves Winnie the Pooh. Amy was just like, oh my gosh, I never thought about Winnie the Pooh sets before. And then we need to get a carrot garden for Rabbit so Tigger can destroy it every single time. Yes, agreed. Raps also wants the Ratatouille set as well. I think that that would be really nice too. I agree. So, you know, again, I just sort of go, I'm really looking forward to the Sesame Street set. I know that we spoke about that before. But yeah, I would also just love Winnie the Pooh. I think that that would be fantastic. I think it would be really interesting to see how the sets go for Sesame Street because we're getting specific characters. And possibly one of the reasons why Lego hasn't approved Winnie the Pooh sets in the past is because they weren't ever allowed to include new parts in a idea set. But possibly if they can include new characters or new molds for heads or whatnot, is that then I would be all over a Winnie the Pooh idea set. But I would also want it to be like all encompassing. So no Winnie the Pooh character gets left behind. I'm getting very passionate about this whole Winnie the Pooh situation, aren't I? So, yes. And I think even last time we were talking about some of our other movies as well. So, you know, Raps was sort of saying about Ratatouille. I think that I was talking about how I would love to have like a Zootopia set. I think that that would be fantastic. But of course, that's another one of those sets where they would have to have the rabbit and the fox, like Judy Rabbit and Nick Wilde, actually like look like them. So they would probably need like specific head molds and whatnot. And then I think that we also talked about some of the others as well, like Lion King and 101 Dalmatians and Lady and the Tramp and whatnot. So I just sort of go, it will be interesting to see what happens once Lego sort of does the Sesame Street head molds and to see what the response is to the Sesame Street set. So want the heffalump, yes. That would be hilarious. Oh my gosh. Definitely. Right. I think that's one of those iconic things of Winnie the Pooh is the heffalump. Yeah. Oh. Right. So anyone else in the chat, do you guys have a wish list of either sets that you've missed out on or dream sets that you would like? We tend to sort of discuss our dream sets on a regular basis, but I think that that's a good thing. We can keep putting that energy out into the universe and hope that it happens. So and it looks like this little thing that I'm building up at the moment, which you guys can't really see because my chunky little fingers keep getting in the way, is a little diving board, which is kind of cool. So it's looking really cute. And it seems like Pucky has settled down a bit. Every now and again he does get a little bit snory, but that's okay because he's a little puglet. So just get this little diving board together. And it looks like, how are we going for time? Oh, yes. It looks like I'll definitely be able to build at least one more swimming pool. We'll see whether or not I've got time to build two, though. But that's the aim for tonight, is to possibly try and build the one with the aquarium in it and then the sort of very first one as well with the basketball hoop in it. So we'll see how I go. Oh, because yes, this is actually my last bag as well, so that's quite promising. Cornet. Oh yeah, yep, all good. Well, at least you are going to get the Diagon Alley, so I think that that's the good news. And then you can just see how you go for some of the other Harry Potter sets as well, because I know that I think you have missed a couple of the first waves, but you might be able to sort of track down some of those still. And so all may not be lost, Cornet. We'll have to just see how you go. I know that in some of our stores we've still got the last lot of Harry Potter and then the newest lot of Harry Potter as well. But the first wave might be a bit trickier to find. But again, I also know that some of like the smaller online stores, they usually have stock around for a bit longer as well, or at least they do over here as well. But usually their prices are the same as the recommended retail price, whereas some of the other shops are a little bit lower than the recommended retail price, which makes things a little bit easier. And I think that this little thing that I'm building at the moment is like another little DJ pod. Oh, I haven't heard of the Miraculous Ladybug series, but that sounds very, very interesting. Digital magazine. Anything with ladybugs, I think, would be quite awesome. I think that they've got a very nice sort of look to them. So I might have to try and Google that once we finish up our stream. And, oh, yes, Lego doing a Rapunzel tower with a moulded hair for Eugene because they did not make good Eugene's hair. I think, yes. I'm trying to remember what Eugene looked like as a mini doll, because I think that, once again, it was such an iconic character in the film that it would have, yeah, he needed to be the Eugene that we know and love. But I think that the outfit they did really well. And I also think, what's the horse's name? I think that they did a really good job with the horse as well. Oh, Max, the horse, is that right? Maximilian, the horse? Or am I getting muddled up? You guys will have to tell me. Oh, and did Ellie V dollify the ladybug? Because I did really like that. I didn't know who the character was, but I did really like that dollified build. So cute. And agreed. We definitely need long hair for Rapunzel, or longer, much, much longer hair for Rapunzel, please. Right. Okay. We are getting there. So, Oh, Maximus. Yes, that's right. Excellent. Thanks, Corne. You are like the brains behind this operation every single week, constantly keeping me in check and reminding me about my thoughts. And yes, we will keep discussing Pocahontas until the end of time, or until we get a mini doll of Pocahontas. But I don't know whether or not we ever will. I think that maybe Lego feels that it's too controversial or something. So, you know, I think that it's important that we have to take into consideration, like, being respectful to, you know, the American Indian people. And I think that there are a few, like, issues with Pocahontas that they have raised. And I think that while Disney sort of tends to turn a bit of a blind eye to that, it does seem like Lego as a company is a bit more socially aware of certain things. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping that we will. And I even have gotten many, many parts together in order to make my own Pocahontas, much like lovely Claire from Brick Motion, but I'm not sure. I have a very big fear that I will put so much time, energy, and effort into making my own Pocahontas doll, and then they'll release an official one that will make me cry. Because that seems to be the way. Right, I think they go like that, yes. What was this called? Maximus, yes. And I think and I agree with that as well, Amy. I think that we should be getting more characters as well. You know, not only like, you know, the romantic love interests or whatever, but also, you know, like what we were saying about the fairy godmother and the stepsisters for Cinderella. You know, it would even be kind of cool to have like Belle's father at some stage or another. Again, that's probably unlikely to happen, but again, you know, just as an example. You know, I thought that it was really nice that we did end up getting Maui in one of the Moana sets as well. So that was really cool. And again, I know that this has probably been said before, but even having, you know, Ariel's sisters as well would be phenomenal, so that we could get more mermaids with more mermaid colours. That would be wonderful. So, I don't know where to put my instruction book. So there we have this little swimming pool finished. So it is actually quite cute. I'll bring you guys down here so you can see it in a bit more detail. So there we have like the little spa bath. This colour is really faded and very muted as well. We've got like the little bathroom round here, a little aquarium. So if we look up, we can see like the little aquarium and then the top of the slide. Go around, there's a little sink here. To the back, we've obviously got the we've got the ladder going up to the slide. A little shower here, which is really cute. Those gorgeous little lockers as well, the little supplies, which has the flippers and the hairbrush, etc. in it, which might be the lost box, the box of lost items and that sort of thing. But I've put those little things over there. We've got the little diving board. We've got Andrea's little DJ pod. Let's see if I can just, there we go. So we've got Andrea's little DJ pod here, which also rotates. So that's kind of cool. Loving that. Let's maybe, pop Andrea in here now. And I, again, love her outfit. It's focused, yes. And she's got gold sandals on it as well, which is just everything. I just love that. So gorgeous. Fantastic outfit. And then obviously we also have like the little rock area behind here, the little waterfall, and back to the spa bath. Then we've got our little pineapple floaty, our little flamingo floaty. Let's pop Stephanie on here. She can be chilling out and doing her thing. And we'll stretch over there and tuck that in over there. And then we also have like a little juice bar area, a couple of little seats, which is really cute. And then we've got the little surfing wave pool thing too, which is kind of cool. So that is all of that built, which is awesome. So, and we're only an hour and a half in, so that's really cool. And cool, excellent. Oh, definitely wraps, yes. That would be amazing. I do really love seeing mocks and builds, so I definitely look forward to that. Yes, I completely agree. It would be fantastic to have had Pocahontas this year for her anniversary. But we will have to just keep waiting, won't we? Right. I'm just scruffling around in the background. Hang on. Oh. Right. Now, I think it's this one. This one. And this one, I think. And I think it might also be this and that, I think. But there's more than one set in my storage box, and some are better labelled than others. So, fingers crossed. But I think this looks right. Those are definitely the chairs that are in here. Yeah. But like I said to you before, I don't get separate bags. So probably finding parts is going to be the biggest challenge for this part of the build. So we want, who do we want? We've got an evil queen. Yes, definitely. We need her. I find it strange that we've had Maleficent now twice, but we haven't had an evil queen yet. But we've only had Snow White once. So the evil stepmother and the stepsisters, I'm assuming for Cinderella, and I'm assuming you mean the evil queen for Snow White. Gaston, yes, for Belle. Triton, I don't know what film they are in. Mother Gothel, who was, oh yes, I definitely think Mother Gothel would be fantastic to get in Rapunzel. Prince Florian, is that Tiara? I don't know where he comes from. Aurora's mum and dad from Sleeping Beauty. So is Prince Florian Sleeping Beauty as well? I don't know. Flora and Fauna, I don't know where they're from. Ariel's other sisters and maybe Hans, yes. And then Amy has built onto that list with the dwarfs. Yes, please. We definitely need the 7 dwarfs. Again, but I would want to see those done, though, in the right scale. So they'd need to have shorter mini doll legs and also with moulded faces as well. But even if we got them, yes, this is correct as well. Even if we got them as mini figures and not mini dolls, I'd still accept them. I'd still welcome them with open arms, provided that we get them. Right. So here is Here is the next swimming pool. And they've actually specified these are what you're going to get in the bags. No, I've just got one giant pile. Oh, and I don't have the mini dolls. So, because quite often I separate the mini dolls out of the different sets. So just so that you guys are aware that we are going to be mini doll-less for these. But I did add in lots of extra mini dolls up the back here. So hopefully you guys can forgive me for that. And, oh my gosh, there's so much here. Right. I'm going to have to separate some of this out. Oops, and that is what I am looking for straight up. Excellent. So we've got the dwarves, yes, Prince Philip and Prince Naveen. Yes, Naveen is Tiana's, isn't he? And I think that he's a fantastic character, so we definitely need a Prince Naveen. Especially if we've got most of the other princes, haven't we? Have we? Are we missing any other princes? I don't pay that much attention to the princes, unfortunately. And I do tend to get quite forgetful, as you all know, when I'm streaming. Oh, King Triton from The Little Mermaid. Yes, thanks, Amy. Oh, okay. And Triton is Ariel's dad and Prince Florian is Snow White's prince. Okay, yeah, cool. Oh, Flora and Fauna are the two fairies from Sleeping Beauty, the red and the green ones. Okay, cool. Yes, I agree. Queen Eleanor and Fergus from Merida, from Brave, yes. And the brothers. I know that we got the brothers as bears in the one and only Merida set that we ever got so far. But it would be nice to have them as characters as well. So Amy and I constantly are discussing Brave. I love Brave. I think that that's a brilliant movie. Very enjoyable. Oh, this is going to take me forever. Right. And yes. Well, you know the build process as per usual if you have bags, Corne, but have you ever seen the build process with this type of a mess? That's what you've got to stick around for, my friend, is to see me struggle through. And what will be particularly interesting will be to see how much quicker I go once the parts start getting lower, because it always goes very slow at the beginning when I have to wade through all the parts. Oh my gosh. Right. Yes, now we've got wraps. Excellent. So Rapunzel's father, yes. Mother Gothel, yes. Hook, Shorty, Attila, Vladimir, Fidela, Lance, Strongbow, Carolina, Angry, Varian, Adira, Eugene's father, Quirin, Hector, Dermatus, Zan, Tiri, Rudiget. They are from Tangled the series and Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. Yes. Oh, yes. So definitely we we want Rapunzel's dad and mum. I agree, especially a mum because her dress was gorgeous. Yes. And an evil Cassandra. Yes. Amy was showing me a picture of evil Cassandra with the blue hair. And I think that looks like such an amazing outfit. So I need I need a grey 2x2. So if anyone can see a grey 2x2 on the screen, direct me towards it, please. I also need Azure panel pieces as well. Oops, that's a sticker. Let's stick that somewhere with other stickers. That's one of my panel pieces. Excellent. It only took 5 minutes. Oh, okay, yes. Yes, I don't know what's going to happen with the series. I don't know whether or not I can watch it, because if it's not on YouTube, then I won't be able to see it. Has anyone spotted my grey 2x2 yet? Okay, oh, and I did see this. Excellent. That's good. And I did also see this. Right. So where is that? That goes on both. Oh, yeah, okay. And little azure cheese wedges. 1, 2. Oh, there's my other panel piece. Excellent. Cool. Right. Okay. Now, I still need a grey 2x2 to go in here, but I will come back to that. Oh, hang on, I've just seen it. Oh my gosh, excellent. Right. Most important thing is we've got our lifeguard tower almost up and running. Right, this and this. Oops. Good. There. Okay, I think this bit. Right, so we've got our lifeguard tower mostly done. There is also a printed tile that goes on here, a white printed, well, no, stickered 2x2, but that will have to come to me at another time as well. Maybe put the parts. Amy, that sounds far too organised for me. That's a very clear and logical suggestion, and I tend to just rummage when it comes to Lego, which is really funny though, because usually when I part things out, or for all my parts, everything is in colour order, but when I'm actually building sets, I don't ever sort of organise the parts at all. I just dump them into a big pile, which is quite funny, really. I know that, I don't know if Lego Lemaniac's still in the comments. He might have gone off because quite often he has stuff to do. He stops in for a little quick chat. But I know that he tends to always build in a very organised, orderly fashion. So usually when he gets his parts, he sort of separates everything out and makes sure that it's all very clear and organised. And I just dump things down. Excellent. So we've got a bit more of a Rapunzel conversation going on, which is really cool. So we've got Cassandra's Moonstone was amazing. Finally, all stick happily ever after. Oh my gosh, yes. Exactly. I think that it would be so much fun to be part of the Disney movie gang. I don't know quite what else to call them. Disney movie, involved in the movie making process at Disney. That would be amazing. Although I think that probably my dream job would still be like working for Lego and designing sets for either Friends or Disney princesses, or just, secretly, covertly, subliminally trying to convince Lego to relaunch the elves line. That would probably be my dream, would be to be building for the elves theme. Right. I'm picking up the pace though now a bit. I've sort of found a bit more of a rhythm. So we'll see. It would be really nice to be able to try and get all 3 of the swimming pool sets built though. That would be awesome, because then I could potentially move on and combine them all then. I probably won't be able to combine them all though tonight. That might be pushing things a little bit too far, too fast. especially since I'm such a plotter as well. Which is fine. Oh, no, I don't. Oh. I don't like the direction that I put that cushion on. It has to go on that way. Much better. Right. What? You've got a snack. That's good. Because what is it? It must be in the afternoon for you, mustn't it, Corno? Oh, Amy's got to go. Bye, Amy. Take care, mate. Have a really good weekend. And hopefully we'll get to chat again soon. Right. And we've got Raps would make Tangled 2 the Moonstone, Tangled 3 the Sundrop, Tangled 4 yesterday's Sorcerer. That sounds amazing titles. Oh, it's in the afternoon. Cool. And Corney saying that that sounds fantastic. So that's really cool. Yes, very great ideas there, Raps. Love it. Right. Okay. We need... this. Right. Oh. And oops, spotted that. Oh my gosh, Pucky is back to being snoring again. I can hear him. It's so cute. So if you do hear snuffling in the background, that is a Pucky enjoying his little evening sleep. Cool. Oh, and Brett's still doing his tidy up, I'm assuming, mate. So that's always good. Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember, when do they usually release the new Harry Potter waves? Is it usually at that time of the year or is it in the middle of the year? I'm very confused with timings of different launches of things. So yes, I don't know how many more waves we're going to get of this lot of Harry Potter, but I've also seen in a couple of places where there have been predictions that we might be getting a Gringotts Bank, since Gringotts wasn't actually included in Diagon Alley, which seems likely because I can also imagine that they'd want to do the dragon as well, since that we did get one dragon, the Horntail, with the Tri-Wizard Cup set, but we still haven't got what was the dragon in the bank? I keep wanting to call it a Ridgeback, but I don't know whether or not that's correct. That's a type of dog, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, playing with the spaceship mock. Rats. Hey, good. Excellent. Yes. Perfect. That's what we need to do, is find some time to sort out our mocks. I'm still waiting for parts. I did get some parts this week, which was really exciting, from America, but most of those were like my smaller little things that I had just sort of ordered on a bit of a whim. Again, it did take a very long time to get here, but I'm glad that they arrived. So that's sort of good. But yeah, like I said before, everything's just taking such a long time to get here. And then I do have some more things arriving from the US. And I've also got a couple of things that are coming in from Hong Kong as well. And he was such a sweet Bricklink seller as well. He was really concerned that he wasn't going to be able to ship the stuff to me as quickly as what I wanted due to COVID. He got back to me quite a few times to double check and to recheck and make sure that I was happy to wait a little while. And he said that the only thing that has opened up between Hong Kong and Australia was via ship. So he was like, did you want me to ship them to you? Literally, not on an aeroplane, not airmail, but on a ship. And I said, yes, why not? Let's just give that a go, and hopefully they will arrive eventually. And so he did say that it could take up to 90 days to get here, though. So again, they're not really parts that I'm super desperate for, though. So I thought that was fine. Okay, let's go with these. And one of these, I still need one more blue stud. Oh, I've just seen it. Excellent. That's handy. Cool. Oh, normally they release sets in July and August. So that is different if we're going to be getting them in, when did you say? January. So that, I wonder if that means that we're then going to get another wave of Harry Potter in July and August then. That's kind of interesting. Does anyone else know? Does anyone keep up with the Lego rumour mill? I tend to just wait and end up being quite surprised when things pop up. Oh, Nocturne Alley, yes, Corne, that would be an awesome set to get as well. Well, I wonder whether or not they will do a Nocturne Alley and maybe a Gringotts Bank then. I do expect that we would get at least one more big set, because I do think that Lego has realised that large Hogwarts sets have been quite popular. So, and I think that, everyone's just gone bananas over Diagon Alley, so it would be silly for Lego not to actually have another larger set up their sleeve, I would think. But of course, we don't know. It obviously does take a long time to develop, and they can't always predict things. But I do suspect that maybe Diagon Alley came about because the Hogwarts microscale castle was so popular and still is really popular. Lex from Daily Brick, he only just got his as well. So both he and I have only recently got those sets. And obviously we both love them. And we built them on YouTube so that other people could love them as well. So, yes, it's going to be interesting to see where we go. What is Nocturne? Oh, I think that means Nocturne Alley wraps, which is one of the other areas in Harry Potter. So there's Diagon Alley, which is like the nicer area for the shops, where you can go and get your wands and your robes for Hogwarts and all of that stuff. And Nocturne Alley is where where it's all a bit more seedy, and where some of the more evil people would be hanging out and that type of thing. So the bad area of town is more Nocturne Alley, isn't it? Oh, yes, Gringotts would be with the Ukrainian Iron Belly, so not the Ridgeback at all. So it wasn't even close when it came to trying to describe what I meant. Luckily, Corne, you can just translate for me in life in general. Once again, thank you. I don't know why it is, but I just find, it is Saturday night here, and it is doing my live streams with you guys is just really fun and relaxing for me. But I do find it can be a little bit of a challenge for me to actually focus on what I'm supposed to be talking about during my live streams. Cool. Alrighty. So we've built our little cabana area, which is really cute. So that's that bit done. And we've built most of this as well. I still need to put a sign on that little thing, and there's supposed to be a newspaper on next to the cabana as well, next to the little lounge. But that's bag one down. So we're now on to bag number 2. which looks like is going to be another juice bar and another bathroom. So that's our next little thing. Oh, there we go. Yes, where the dark wizards do their thing. Yes, I am. Ruth. Oh, next one is the first pool. Yes. So hopefully once I get this one built, then I'll be able to do the first pool as well. But we'll see how I go for time because we're almost up to 2 hours as well. Oh, and did I miss the ladder on the back? Excellent. Thanks, Corne. Excellent. There we go. Cool. Right. Alrighty, orange. We need orange bits. So, Lego Maniac, you're back now. So what sets are you looking forward to getting? What upcoming sets are you going to be building? I always enjoy watching your fast forward builds, especially when you grab some of the larger sets as well. So I know that last time we talked a little bit about your piano video, which I thought was really well done. But are you going to be getting hold of Moss Isley, or are you going to be getting hold of any of the other sets that are coming up? I think, is the typewriter supposed to be coming out soon as well? Will you be building that one up as well? Or is that not really your thing? Let us know what's happening. That would be really cool. And excellent. Yes, there is a juice bar here and the bathroom. So it looks like we're starting off with the juice bar corner. Well spotted. So tucked up the back behind 1,000,001 little parts. And these, yes, these are 4s. Let's see if we can go. Right. Oh, I know that, Lemaniac, I know that you recently did the night bus video as well. I haven't quite gotten around to watching that, but that wasn't you building though, was it? Was that one of your mates or something? Because I didn't recognise the sleeves. And then I saw that you had put featuring so-and-so, which I thought was really cool. Right, I need this one and that one. Oh, and this. Excellent. So, oh, you have gotten Diagon Alley. Not sure when you're going to have time to build it though. Yes. Oh, that's good. And has it arrived? I'm assuming that means that it's actually arrived as well. My Diagon Alley still hasn't arrived, but it is in transit. And I do regularly check to make sure that it's on its way. And it seems like it's having a very scenic trip around Australia, my Diagon Alley. So hopefully it will be here next week, but I'm not 100% sure. And not very interested in the typewriter, but you'll wait and see for the final version. Oh, that's good, yes. Sometimes we do have to keep a bit of an open mind and see what we think. And yes, I am all about that Sesame Street set. I am really looking forward to getting that one. I did even see the Flintstone set quite cheap at one of our other stores a week or so ago, and I did even debate whether or not I would pick that one up as well. The only thing I don't like about that Flintstone set is that they didn't do the moulded heads like they did for The Simpsons, and instead they just did the printed faces onto the standard mini doll head, which is fine, but I think that having the moulded heads would have been so much more iconic, but that's just me. What am I doing? Okay, I need one of those. And, oh yes, Winter Village. Oh my gosh, yes. So you'll get to have a very fun winter this time around, because hopefully you'll be able to build the gingerbread house from last year and the new Winter Village set from this year. Do we know what set that is yet? Oh, no, we do. It's the elves one, isn't it? It's the little elves workshop home thing. I really like the look of that one as well. I think I might get that too, because I think that that would look nice next to the gingerbread house, which I already have. So we'll have to see. Okay. It looks like, oh, and a drink. I did see the drink. There it is. Right. There's the juice bar, but we still need the sign on the top, which is cool. Okay, that's fine, Raps. It was so nice that you were hanging out here. I really appreciate you stopping by and giving us lots of updates on what's been happening for you. Make sure that you do post your mock on Instagram as well. We really want to see that, so that would be amazing. Oh, so it has arrived. Yes. Corne saying the classic TV show Lego sets. Yes. And I do think that they do really well. Was it BFAB that said that the TV show Friends set from Lego Ideas was one of the most popular Lego sets last year or this year or whatever? And I can definitely understand that. I got that one because I, watched that TV show all the time when I was growing up, and it was just hilarious and nostalgic and iconic and all of those sorts of things. So I can see why so many people bought that one. And I also think like Greg from GJ Bricks, he was even modifying his so that he was having the apartments above and all of that sort of thing too. So, and I think that Dr. McBrick has also done a modified version of that set too. Although I don't think that I've watched that video from Dr. McBrick yet either. But again, I can't watch everyone's videos all the time. So I do try and get through most of them, but it just depends on what's happening. But again, it is nice to stop in and see what different people are up to. And again, I think that since I've been working from home, my priority has also been more watching some of the live streams, because then I don't have to keep skipping over videos. So it's actually nicer to have longer videos, which is where I sort of sometimes prefer just to put on, 2 or 3 live streams while I'm doing my work hours and watch that. Right. Oh, yes. I am looking for that. That's one of the bits that I need. And I also need a funny little grey tap as well at some stage, because I haven't gotten that yet either. And, oops, Pucky. Oh, that looks like I might need that soon. Pucky snoring is very relaxing. Oh, that's fantastic. Cool. Oh, yes, definitely. Please, Corne, look them up and let us know what we've got. I'm very curious to find out what the names of the new dots sets are. Yeah. Right, I'm going to have to turn the page and keep powering on, I think, if I want to try and get all 3 swimming pools built. Right. There. Got that bit. And this. So this is most definitely the bathroom. I think this. Excellent. Right. Oh, we've gone a bit quiet. I've been focusing too much on building and not enough on talking. So, what else are people up to over the weekend? I'm trying to think of what else has happened. It, like I said before, is that we are starting to get some of our springtime weather coming through, which is really cool. So that's been really nice. So it will be quite lovely to try and sort of do a few more out and about activities, outdoor things. It's, you know, even simple things like being able to go for a few more dog walks and those sorts of things as well. It's always really enjoyable. So that's what I'm looking forward to coming up. But I think that it's the opposite for many of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere. So you guys will be starting to rug up a bit more for your winter time. What else do I need? I need another one of those. Oh yes, and I need my toilet lid. Oh, there we go. That's looking promising. Excellent. And this, I need that. Go in there. And the other one. Cool. Oh, mermaid vibes bracelet. Mermaid's Vibe bracelet, adventure bracelets, ice cream bestie bracelet. Oh, so they'll be skinny with only one row of studs. That's interesting. So that's kind of cool. I definitely think Mermaid Vibes sounds very interesting to me. Obviously, I'm a bit partial to a mermaid, as many of you guys know. And Ice Cream Besties bracelet sounds like that might be a bit up my alley as well, since, of course, I do enjoy an ice cream. But in reality, well, I think most people would enjoy an ice cream, but I think sometimes some people don't like the cold on their teeth. So that may end up being a bit of an issue. Right. Now it looks like we're doing the lockers, I would say, over here. So this hopefully will be quite quick. Excellent. Right. And now we get another little vine. So get more flowers. One of these, one of those. More of those little orange flowers. Excellent. Ice cream! Yay! That's the time travel bracelet for you, Lamaniac. So I think that would be a good one. Right. Oh, so there's going to be a monster and a starlight bracelet. So that sounds quite cool too. Not too well, we'll see. I'm not too sure about monsters, but the starlight one sounds quite nice. A secret holder, secret boxes, and a creative party kit. I wonder whether or not the secret holder and the secret boxes are going to be a little bit puzzle box-esque. That would be interesting, Mr. the Maniac, wouldn't it? So there's the little bathroom toilet with the lockers done as well. So we're now up to bag number 3. And I was correct in assuming that we would need a plate. And this looks like we're starting on the swimming pool bit as well. So that would be really interesting if those secret boxes are going to be a bit puzzle box-like as well. I think that's kind of what that name is saying to me. I could be wrong because puzzle boxes are on my mind, but I would think that if you've got a secret box, then I would be thinking that there would be secret compartments in it and you'd need like a secret way of opening them. And I know that growing up, that sort of concept was always quite intriguing to, you know, kids and that sort of thing. So I think that that would be an interesting way for Lego to go. We can only assume until we see images and until we get our little paws on those sets as well. So we'll have to see what happens. But to me, that's what it sounds like. What do you guys reckon? Is that what that sort of stuff sounds like to you, or what would you think of as like a secret box? Yeah, oh, yes, I missed the... Oh, hi, Tayshawn. How are you going? Yeah, I missed the juice bar sign, but that's because I don't know where it is. I can't find it yet. Oh, here it is. Found it. There we go, Corne. All you have to do is ask. And you'll receive. Whatever you want, I'll find it for you, buddy. How are you going, Tayshawn? How have you been this week, mate? What's been happening in your little Lego world and different things? I haven't watched your video with your food stuff yet, but that is on my to watch list. I was saying to the guys a little bit earlier that I haven't been able to watch everything that I've wanted to this week. I have actually had to go out of my house and do some work tasks in the big wide world, which is very strange since I've been working from home for such a long time. But hopefully this week I'll be able to catch up on a few people's live streams and then watch your video with your food bits in it and all of that sort of thing. So, last month, I thought I had, or have I? I don't know. Yeah, I'm doing good. I don't know. I'm trying to think whether or not I saw Claire's videos. I thought that I have, well, I know that I have subscribed to her channel, but I don't think that I've seen a video from her for a little while. I wonder whether or not that's been one of those hinky YouTube things. I don't know. Oh, that's something else that I'll probably have to go and double check on and see. Yes, I do remember that modern house mock that you made, Tayshawn, because you do some fantastic builds and fantastic modern house. Well, modern architecture seems to be a very in your wheelhouse. Oh, okay. Oh, that hasn't come up on my feed either. Okay, I'm going to have to go back into YouTube and double check my settings then, because I usually love watching Claire's videos when they come out. Because they seem to also come out at usually quite good times for me, like they're usually in the afternoon and that sort of thing. Whereas some of the other channels is that I wake up and I get a surprise in the morning. But yes. So Tayshawn, what's been going on with your modern house mock that you made? Has there been something exciting happening with that? Definitely let us know in the comments. I'm always very curious to find out what's been going on with you guys. Is this supposed to be a double one? Oh, yes, it is. That's the double one. Cool. Oh, cool. Yes, that's exciting. I always think that it's interesting to sort of be able to come back and revisit some of our older mocks and designs and stuff like that. You know, I think, well, my first video that I ever posted up here was also of one of my first mocks, which was my tiered jasmine sort of palace. And I still have that mock, but obviously I also have been very slowly building a newer version of that with the newer jasmine sets that we got more recently. And it's just been really interesting to see how, you know, small things have changed, like simple things like how I do my rock work and those sorts of things. So it's yeah, it's just really nice to be able to go back and sort of revisit things and, you know, change things up as we can. Right, okay, I've gone askew because I'm not facing in the right direction as the instructions. Right, let's go. Let's keep powering on. Right. Okay, looks like that is that bit for now. And it looks like my next little sort of side build type thing is going to be putting together another diving board. So yeah, I also think, like Tayshawn, even though it's a little bit about, you know, getting better at videoing things, I think it's also about finding our style as well. So it's even learning how to edit, learning how the software works, like whatever software we decide to use to edit our videos. But it's also like finding how we want to edit our videos and what style we like. And I think that, you know, like, I mean, I know that I've said this to you before, but I really enjoy the way that you do your stop motion builds now. And I think that that's really quite, you know, unique to you. And I really like you having like your little sig fig dragging in the different parts and all of those sorts of things. Like, I just sort of go, I think that's kind of, you know, kind of cool. It's a little bit different compared to a lot of the other videos that I watch. In the same way that, you know, for me, I was always very mindful that I didn't want to do videos that were exactly the same as LEV or exactly the same as Brick Emotion, because both of them had already been doing their videos for a little while. So I sort of went, okay, well, how can I bring something new and something different to the Lego community, and how can I sort of add to that? Oh, okay. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, it's so, like, I mean, I will keep saying this until Perth finally gets a Lego store, but I always just, the concept of having a pick a brick wall and the idea about being able to go in and like build your own minifigs and all of that sort of stuff is just absolutely amazing to me. I am on the Facebook group for the Perth Lego users. So I am part of their like little lug. I haven't gone to any of their build nights yet though, because just when I was getting organised enough to be able to do that, we weren't allowed to do anything social. And since then, they have had a couple of build nights, but they have had limited seats and people have had to get tickets and those sorts of things. So we'll probably just wait a little while before I go along to one of their build nights. But on the Facebook page, that was a huge tangent to get to the point that I was actually making. But anyway, but on the Facebook group, they did actually say, well, like, I mean, we were supposed to get a Lego store this year, which we aren't going to get, obviously. But it does look like that is going to be in the works for next year. So 2021, hopefully, if the world is safe enough, Perth may get a Lego store, which is very exciting for me. Oh, no, not that one. This one. Oh, no, not that one. Oh, no, I've gone askew. Right, here. There. Yeah, no, here. Oh, okay, right. I missed an entire page of instructions there. No wonder it wasn't really lining up. So we have, yeah, LEV's channel is huge. She yeah, is massive. She's well over 1 million now, because she got to 1 million subscribers, I think, last year sometime. But I think that the other thing that is interesting with Ellie V's channel is that while she does do a lot of Lego, and that's the bulk of her videos, because it's toys, it also means that she builds other things as well. So every now and again she does the LOL dolls. I think I've seen a few videos pop up around that, and she also has done the Sylvanian families. I definitely think that her Lego videos are her most popular. And it also seems like her mock builds are also super popular, like when she did the Disney Princess apartments and that sort of thing. But she does tend to sort of focus more on building new sets. So she does try and get hold of the sets really quickly, which I think that she can because she lives over east. I'm pretty sure that she's in New South Wales or Queensland, and she does have access to an actual Lego store, unlike me, who doesn't. Yeah, so I think that she just sort of tries to get hold of some of the sets really quickly, and then just sort of does a lot of the speed builds, and then quite often sort of intersperses them with other bits and pieces, doesn't she? Which is kind of cool. And then I think that in the rest of the Lego community, I think that Jang has sort of the largest channel with Creator and City and Ninjago and all modulars and all of that sort of thing. I'm really pleased that Jang has recently created his City channel as well, because I always love watching his City builds. So that's been one of my favourite things, even though he does actually say that his City videos don't tend to do that well compared to like his speed builds and that sort of thing, and his reviews. So, but yeah, it's been interesting how Jang has been able to sort of sort out his channel. And I think that, you know, he was really concerned about the whole COPA thing, and I think that that's been a struggle for a lot of channels. I think that that's probably even affected Ellie V's channel as well, and I know that it definitely impacted Claire from Brook Emotion too. So, yeah. Yeah, the reason why I don't think that she's in Victoria, and I do think that she might be in New South Wales. And she may have, but again, Queensland is a very large place. So even if she was in southern Queensland, she would probably need to take a plane to northern Queensland. But whenever she has done a couple of little videos where I think that she was on her veranda and that sort of thing, like on her porch, and it definitely gave me the vibes of northern New South Wales or Queensland. And I'm not too sure whether or not she's even in a city, but I do think that she's like in driving distance to a Lego store. So, but, you know, let's not try and focus too much on that, because that might be a bit creepy if we're trying to discuss where Ellie V lives. But yes, she lives somewhere where she has access to a Lego store. That much I know. So, yeah. And then, yeah, Disney. Well, we might not just do Disney characters. Well, we might do Disney characters, not just princesses, because I think, you know, not too sure if Lego Lemaniac's still here or if Tayshawn want to join in. But I think Ariel's your favourite, Corne. Yes, that's good. I do really enjoy the Little Mermaid movie. However, I must say that when I have watched it more recently, it has dated a little bit. So I have really enjoyed Moana, and I really love the music in Moana as well. Like, I could just, you know, listen to that soundtrack all the time and be, you know, overjoyed with it. I also think that both of the Frozen movies I also quite enjoyed as well. And I think that Frozen 2, for me, was probably a little bit underrated. Like, I really enjoyed Frozen 2. I thought that it had like a really interesting story in it and quite an interesting like story arc to it. I thought that it was sort of a bit more unique to previous Disney princess movies. I thought that it was really nice that it focused on the relationships between the sisters. I thought that it sort of was quite interesting how they sort of started to delve into, you know, things like grief and loss and depression and that sort of stuff, but still in a very Disney princess type way. So, yeah, it's interesting. Yes, I'm very excited to see that from you, Tayshawn. Your skyscraper mock, when you did your room tour, looked absolutely fantastic. I am really keen to see where you go with that build and what else you're going to create with that skyscraper as well. I think that that's really cool and exciting. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for that one. Okay, there we go. Book one done. So we've just got bag 4 and 5 to go, which is just everywhere. And we're 2.5 hours in. Okay, so let's see if we can continue to power on. Right. So we'll see if I can get all 3 swimming pools done in my usual 3 hours, or whether or not I will have to sit here until midnight. So I'm very excited about that. One of your favourite Disney characters is Xena, since she's the best villain ever created. What movie is she from? Come on, eh? You're going to have to help me out here, buddy. I'm terrible with names, aren't I? Oh my gosh. Seems like all I ever say in these videos is, Corne, can you just tell me what that is? Corne, where's that? Oh dear. It's so funny. Lego Lemaniac's half here. I haven't watched Mulan yet. No. I was just actually saying to everyone earlier, Tayshawn, that I don't actually have any streaming services. I do own a television, but I usually only watch YouTube on my TV. And the only other thing that I watch on my television are DVDs. So I don't have Netflix. I don't even have commercial television or free-to-air television. I don't have a satellite dish. I don't have anything else like that. So I just watch my YouTube videos on my television and DVDs, and that's pretty much that, really. And I think that that's where it is really nice for me, because I can actually watch a lot of other people's content, and I know that that's not always the case for everyone. I can't always watch everyone's videos, but I do try my best to watch a lot and to spread it out as well. So there are some channels where I do watch just about all of their stuff all the time, because that's content that I really enjoy. And again, it probably also just depends on the length of the videos as well. So that comes into it a little bit too. But no, I haven't been able to see Mulan yet. So that was a very long-winded answer for a very simple question. I don't even know what a fire stick is. Oh, okay. So from the Emperor's New Groove. I don't think that I've even seen that movie either. So I know that I haven't seen all the Disney movies. There's some that I just haven't sort of gotten to. And that might just be because sometimes they probably just came out when I was in my Disney dark ages as well. So I was probably a teenager or in my 20s or something when some of those movies came out, and I was like, I'm too cool to watch Disney. As some of us tend to behave when we're that type of an age. And then we get to the point where we just sort of go, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to enjoy stuff that I enjoy. So, but I think that that's fine as well. You know, we've got to try different things out and grow and do different things. So And I don't know if I can find one more little green flower. Right. That's going in here. Cool. Is that tile? No, that's the newspaper. So I know that needed to go there. Oh, this one? Yes. That's the other. Everything's falling over. Oh my gosh. Everything's come adrift. Yes, there we go. Right, all of that is sorted. The aquarium is mostly done. I do need another spring green round 1x1 stud and one more bright green flower, but I can't see either of those. So I'm going to just keep powering on. Yes, right. So that'll be really favorite Disney character? Yes, I would actually say that Pirates of the Caribbean has got some very iconic characters in there. And, you know, I think that Barbossa was definitely one of those characters where he started off being a bit like overshadowed by Jack Sparrow, because I think that Jack Sparrow was so phenomenal during like the first couple of movies, but then Barbossa was definitely one of those characters that sort of had a bit of a slow burn. You know, even the other day we were sort of, I think on Steve's live stream, we were talking about The Simpsons and how when The Simpsons first started off, everyone was raving about Bart. But then over time, it was sort of like, oh no, actually Homer is the most iconic sort of Simpsons character. So it's just sort of quite funny, really, how these sorts of things work, isn't it? Right. Looks like, oh no, hang on. The aquarium isn't done. Where's my seaweed? I saw that. There it is. Phew. That would have been a bit of a shame if I'd missed out the seaweed in the aquarium. Since the seaweed in the aquarium gives it its beautiful height and a bit more of a lovely looking underwater sort of vibe, doesn't it? Right. Yes, Jeffrey Rush did such an amazing job with Barbossa. I think that, you know, it's one of those things where you just sort of go, he's a very interesting actor. And you know, I mean, even what was the one where he even ended up going and, you know, becoming part of the King's Navy as well? Was that the third film? Third Pirates of the Caribbean? You know, even things like that was really interesting because that used to actually happen. They would actually recruit into, you know, the King or the Queen's Navy. They would actually recruit pirates to a certain degree because they knew that they had the sailing skills, which is sort of like quite funny, really, when you think about it. You know, that whole if you can't beat them, join them logic or whatnot. Right, I am starting to speed up a bit now that I've got fewer parts to have to sort through. It feels like I'm going a bit quicker. What do you guys reckon? 2.5 hours. I still don't know whether or not I'm going to have enough time to build the third swimming pool within 3 hours. It may end up being a bit Lemaniac-esque, where it's just sort of like, that'll do. This final swimming pool might not have all its plumbing in place. Right, this one. And this one. And this. And Yes, one of those. Oh, where's that tap? I needed that for the toilet. Excellent. Oh no, I can't get in there. Okay, I'll just chuck that on the floor for now. I'll come back to the plumbing. Right. Oh, okay, yep. On Stranger Tide, 4th film. Yes, I'm very muddled up with where we're up to with all of that. Obviously, I think I get very muddled with a lot of things, though, so I'm not surprised. Are any of you guys surprised by that? No. No, I wouldn't think so. Right, another one of these. Yeah, it's really cool. I agree. I really like the twin showers, and I really like the way how they've put the showers in behind, like the aquarium as well. I thought that was really cool because I think that would be like quite a nice like experience actually in the real world. Would be to have a shower in your bathers at a swimming pool under water while looking at an aquarium out over a swimming pool. Okay. So, and I actually completely agree that there are some really good deals that you can sort of track down on different Lego sets as well. And I think probably some of the sets that I got really good deals with were the first 2 waves of the Hidden Side sets. That's one of the reasons why I ended up buying them all, was because it was such a good price. Of course, all of that has now changed. That people don't think that that we probably won't be getting any more Hidden Side by all accounts. But that has also meant that now it's like, I mean, I haven't really been able to find the Hidden Side sets for this 3rd wave. Oops, a lot of places have sold out with them. Oh no, how? Why? I was trying to go too fast then, wasn't I? Right. That. There we go. Now next. Okie dokie. Right. So yes. A more classic Disney character, Hades from Hercules, maybe. Yes. Have we had a Hades yet in any of the CMF ranges or anything, or not? I don't know. I don't usually pay that much attention to all the characters that we get in the CMFs and stuff. I usually just pick out the ones that I know and love and focus on them. I know it's very naughty of me not to be respectful of all. Radio. Oops. Oh, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. Now we get to do another little bit over here, which I think is now going to be putting together stuff for the slides. Is that I'm getting that impression that this is where we're up to, which is good. And obviously it doesn't look like we've got very many more parts left, so that's going to be good too. So we shall see. So this bit goes in here and that goes under there. So, and I think that this set, Cornet, also is quite interesting because this is where we have also got a little bit more like of the sort of unique shapes that we're starting to see more of now. No, that's not right. Oh no, I needed an extra brick. Oh, it's getting late. Now that's right. Excellent. Cool. Okay, next part. We go on to the next little slopey bit. And now it's saying we're up to bag number 5, which I don't have because they were all messed in together. So Hercules and Hades fig in the CMF, yes. And Megara in Lego, yes. Okay, so there was a Hades in that. And the Castle of Mystery, yes. Is that what they're calling the Hidden Side Castle? Because that does look very awesome. I do have that on my wish list. But it also looks like that's one of the sets that is only available from the Lego shop here in Australia. So I'm not going to be able to get that anywhere else, which is fine. I think because of Diagon Alley and because of Hogwarts Microscale, I do have a lot of VIP points now at Lego. So hopefully I'll be able to pick up a couple of the larger sets that are on my little wish list, not the massive, super expensive sets like Diagon Alley and that. But yeah, that Hidden Side Castle is definitely one that I would like to get. I really like the look of that one. So hopefully I can find that. And even the prison set, the Newbury Pit Prison, I think would be a really cool set to be able to get a hold of. So definitely I want to try and see if I can track those down somewhere somehow, which would be awesome. And then what are some of the other ones that I'm keen to sort of get hold of as well? Oh, and then I did get the Avengers Tower as well. So that's arrived. That came with Mia's summer cube. So that was really good that I got that one. But I'm also quite keen to try and get the helicarrier, the Avengers helicarrier as well. So that might be the other set that I'll get from Lego with some VIP points too. But I will have to wait for those because I have gone a little bit bananas recently with all my Lego spending. So I'll just have to pace myself now for a little bit, which is fine. Cool. So what have we got? That is the Hidden Side Castle. Yes. The astronomy tower in that and the main building has amazing stained glass windows. Love it. Yes, exactly. Anything that has stained glass windows and an astronomy tower, I'm all over that. So once again, Coordinate, you and I are two little peas in the very same pod. So I'm glad to hear that. And Brett is saying that he has the Disney fix. So he does have Hades and Hercules. Excellent. And the Hidden Side Castle. Oh, cool, Brett. What's the Hidden Side Castle like? I know that you're in the middle of mocking, but just when you get a moment, feel free to let us know in the comments your thoughts on that. I'd be interested to hear what you reckon of that. So, yes, I actually have always really liked the Hidden Side theme. I thought that it was really cool. I've really enjoyed a lot of their builds. There's been a few builds that have been a little bit odd, but by and large, all the builds that I've sort of done, I've enjoyed, and I've thought that they've sort of been well worth it. So, yeah, it is a bit of a shame that it seems like it's finishing only after 3 waves. So they didn't even make it to 4 waves like the elves. At least the elves got 4. I know, exactly. It's like Lego mother and son here talking about all the things that they share. Yes, so the castle's epic, so that's good to hear, and a must buy. You wish that you'd gotten 2. So I'll definitely leave the Hidden Side Castle and the Disney train to you in my will then, Brett. So if I do go before you, you'll get both of mine then. I know how much you want the Disney train, so I'll do that for you. And, well, I'm really glad to hear that because the only place that I've seen the Hidden Side Castle available at is the official Lego store, so in Australia. So I've not seen that pop up at any other shops when I've what do you get? You can get all my dots. And then you can either pick, you can probably get some of my friends' stuff as well. I can't give you all of it because I think Amy will probably want all my princess sets. But you can get some of that as well. Have to fight it out amongst yourselves. How about I leave you my Disney castle? How does that sound? I think that's probably a good one for you to be able to get. Brett can get the Disney train and you can get my Disney castle. And I think that Amy has a lot of Hogwarts stuff. So what about if I leave you some of my Hogwarts stuff too? Now you'll just be all trying to bump me off. You'll be trying to like hire a hitman or something so that you can get some hold of my Lego sooner. Right, you have to go in there nicely, please. Yes, excellent. There we go. Signs on. Right, oops. Yellow slide. Excellent. Archways. Okay. Right, on to the home stretch. Doesn't look like we've got much left to go for this one. Excellent. So you're going to be sorting out who gets what. Yes, I know. I'm on to you lot. It is. I think it's one of those things where it's so lovely that we all enjoy our Lego, but it can be a very expensive hobby, I think. But I also am one of those people that do think that you get the quality that you pay for, which is why I think that so many of us don't really mind paying that little bit extra to get a good quality sort of item. But it does end up being a little bit pricey, especially when they release a whole heap of really good stuff all at the same time. That's when we end up in trouble. And that's where it's also even simple things like I just sort of go, I know that it would be so lovely to be able to complete my Hidden Side collection, but I also don't want to pay aftermarket prices just to get the third wave sets that I haven't been able to find in stores yet. So because people have been buying up Hidden Side sets either because of lockdown and they want to entertain themselves and their small children, or because they think that they can make a bit of coin on them due to the aftermarket. Right, adding in some final bit of foliage, which of course you all know that I have to do because I love a good plant. Excellent, those ones done. And then I think I've got one more down here to go as well with the orange flowers. And I seem to have a lot of blue tiles left over. I don't know why or how that happened. Oh well, never mind. And then hopefully, we'll have 10 minutes to build one more swimming pool. Right. Oh, there we go. Oh, I think I'm going to have to swap that over. That's better. Oh. Okie dokies. Let's leave those. Just a bit more of this in here. And the two little lilos can go in there as well. And that's that swimming pool done. Whew. Right. So let's see, that swimming pool, and that swimming pool, and this is swimming pool, and that's one book. What did I do with the other book? Oh no, where did I put my other instruction book? Oh, is it smaller? I think is it a little one? Yes, excellent, thank you. Brick After Brick Toys too. Any idea where she and her channel went? Because they just disappeared. Yeah, yeah, I don't know quite what happened with Vicky. I did keep in touch with her for a little while, and I know that there was a bit of stuff going on with families and time and all of that sort of stuff, but I also think that she comes from a healthcare professional background, so I don't know whether or not she ended up doing a bit more stuff behind the scenes for everything that's happening this year, which might have then impacted on her time even further. So I think that it is one of those things where sometimes it is tricky to keep a channel going when you've got other priorities such as families and relationships and that sort of thing. So luckily with this build, it's a little bit smaller, so we'll see. Time for some dinner. Yes, Lamaniac, thanks so much for stopping by, buddy. It's always good to have you in the chat and have you in the stream. Enjoy your dinner. Hopefully it will be something very yummy. And Brett's saying that he likes new sets but go 110% all the time, and we would be eating rice all month. Yes. Yes. I agree. Like, and I have a very strange thing when it comes to my mocking as well, I must admit, because I do just sort of like, once I have a clear idea in my head about how I want something to look, then I just have to wait until I can get hold of the parts that I need in order to create that look and go with that, which can then end up being a bit pricey if I have to get parts from overseas, which does tend to happen sort of regularly. Okay, that's one of those. That's another one of those. And one of these is meant to have a butterfly on them. So there's that. There's one of those chairs. Let's move some of these out the way. So this was one of the very early swimming pools. Corne, do you know when this swimming pool was released? It must have been 2012 or 2013 or something, wasn't it? It was very early on in the Friends line, from memory anyway. There's another one of those chairs. Excellent. Right. So, yes. Yeah, so who's my favourite singer? Well, it's been a while since I've sort of been able to listen to anything particularly new, but across my lifetime, the singer that I've probably listened to the most and the singer that I would probably know the most amount of music about is probably Prince. So when I was 12 or 13, I became very heavily obsessed with Prince. It's a very strange child because some of his music is very unusual content for a 12-year-old. But yeah, I just loved his music, and I think that as a musician, he's phenomenal. So, yeah, and then pretty much all throughout high school, I listened to mostly Prince as well, which again was very strange because I actually grew up in regional Australia, so out in the country. And so a lot of what most people would be listening to would be things like rock, because that's the more regional thing to do, is to listen to rock bands. So while everybody else was enjoying bands like Metallica and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who are fantastic bands in their own right and are very talented at what they do, I was listening to Prince. And a lot of people found it very, very strange and very, very weird that that was the musician that I loved. And then I think that the record Diamonds and Pearls came out. And then a lot of other people went, oh, actually, yeah, Prince is hugely talented. So, yeah. And I was very blessed because one of the things that I had on my, like, bucket list before bucket lists were even a thing, but one of my lifetime goals was to be able to watch a Prince concert live. And I remember for, I think, my 15th or my 16th birthday, my brother was able to find a bootleg video. Not even a DVD, but an actual VHS video of a Prince concert. And I remember watching that on my birthday, and just I was in absolute awe of how talented Prince was and how amazing that concert was. And I was just like, oh, it would be absolutely phenomenal if I was able to see Prince live in concert. And he had never really come to Australia that frequently. And he had never really come to Perth at all. When he had toured in Australia, it had either been to Melbourne or Sydney. And that was pretty much it. And there was an occasion where I did consider flying over to Melbourne to see him live in concert, but that didn't end up occurring. That didn't end up happening. But luckily on his last tour, which was his piano and microphone tour, which was where it was just him and a piano, and very much there was no other musicians, there was no other instruments, it was just literally him and a piano. He did actually come to Perth and it was sold out. I was actually really sick when I had a very bad cold when the tickets went on sale, and I thought that I had missed out. And then I was sat in the back garden and I was talking to my mum and my brother, who were trying not to breathe in any of my cold and flu germs. And my brother reminded me that Prince tickets had gone on sale, and I was just like, oh no, I've probably missed out. They would have sold out by now. And I thought, oh, I'll go online and I'll just see. And I went online and I ended up buying 3 tickets for myself, my brother, and my mum. My mum ended up not coming because she struggles a lot in crowds, so she didn't come with us, but another one of my friends did, and it was amazing that she was able to join us. And yeah, and so we went along and watched him live in concert, and it was just absolutely amazing. Like, it was, yeah, him and a piano, singing, and obviously I cried, much like with Wonder Woman, and it was just one of those things where it was a lifelong dream that had finally come true, and so that was a huge thing for me. And then it was only a month or so later when he actually ended up passing away. So I think that that was sort of like quite an important sort of moment as well, to sort of just be a reminder that we, you know, don't know what's going to happen in the future. And it's really important to sort of strive towards some of those goals that we set for ourselves, even if they're silly things like watching a Prince concert. Like, that's not an important thing to achieve in a lifetime. But to me, it was really special, and that's going to be a memory that I'll cherish forever. So, yeah, I do really like a lot of Lady Gaga's music. I haven't got all of it, and I don't know all of her songs off the top of my head. But again, I think that she's really super talented and just a phenomenal singer and performer. Like, you know. again, when I've seen her perform live at different things that I've been able to watch on YouTube and whatever, I just sort of think to myself, wow, she's really talented and awesome. And again, I think what's even more interesting is that whenever I've seen her being interviewed, is that she just also seems like quite a kind and caring person too, is that she actually seems like she cares about her fans and, you know, she engages with people and that sort of thing. And I think it's also been really interesting to hear some of what she's been able to sort of say about being able to sort of speak up for herself and say no. And, you know, just because you get, you know, I think in one interview she was saying just because she's caught up in like this show business industry doesn't mean that she has to say yes to everything all the time, particularly if it's not going to be good for her creatively, and particularly if it's not something that sort of she agrees with or aligns to her sort of morals and ethics. So, you know, I just sort of go, I think that that makes her like a really important person to have, you know, as a performer out there in the world. It's awesome. So, yeah, I think I really like Lady Gaga. I think for Adriana, hi Raps, how are you going? It's nice to have you back. For Ariana Grande, she is well and truly out of my sort of like spectrum of knowledge and wheelhouse. I just sort of think that I am probably not in the right age bracket to appreciate Ariana Grande, which sounds a bit ridiculous, but there are some things where I just sort of go, no, I don't think that that's for me, and that's Ariana for me. Again, you know, I have seen her perform on a few different things, and every now and again she pops up and I just sort of go, yeah, she seems cool, but I just sort of go, I think that she's one of those artists which isn't really for me. So, yes, 2013, Paul. Yeah, I thought it was one of the really early ones, second or third Friends Wave. Yeah, I think that that sounds about right as well. Cool. So, Raps likes Katy Perry. Yes, I like a lot of Katy Perry stuff as well. I think that she's also a very, very talented person. And I think that she's had a very interesting, you know, life as well. I think that it would be very interesting to sort of go into perform the songs and the music that she has with the family background that she also was raised in as well. And I think that that's sort of been sort of quite interesting to sort of be aware of. And I just also think to myself that Katy Perry is one of those people who has also really had to sort of work quite hard in order to achieve what she's achieved as well. You know, I remember watching, I think it was a documentary or something, maybe it was even her movie, I can't remember, but she did get signed to a record label, but the record label sort of only signed her because they didn't want her to get signed by anyone else, and they were just keeping her like, you know, keeping her on their label, but they weren't going to do anything with her. And I just sort of go, you know, once again, it just sort of shows that sometimes industries and that sort of stuff can actually be a bit cruel and mean when they don't need to be. You know, I just sort of go, we can actually celebrate each other's successes and talents without having to worry about being in competition with each other the whole time. And quite often there is more than enough space for everyone as well. You know. So yes. Music fan Eurovision Junior Year and this year extra. Oh yes, it's in your country as well. Yes, Corne. Oh yeah, and I was just talking about Katy Perry, but I didn't put your comment up either, Raps, did I? I'm now commenting on the comment, but backwards. It's that time of the evening. But as you can see here, Raps, it is a bit messy, but it will get a bit more tidied up. But we've finished off the third swimming pool. So we've got swimming pool number 1 done over here, swimming pool number 2 done here, and then we're on to the third and final swimming pool now as well, which Corne and I have worked out to be from, I think, 2013. So And this was definitely the first swimming pool that we ever got in the Friends line as well. And you can sort of see that it is quite interesting that with the newer ones, we've got all the lime green with it, but with the first one, we've got the Lego green as well. And it's even things like we don't have the azure bricks in here either. We're using the blue. So it's sort of like quite interesting to see how the Lego Friends line has developed, and even how the colour palette has changed as well. So, right, what do I need? I need one of these. That's going in here. I need, I'm just sticking to everything. I need this, that's going in here. I think I need this as well, yes. Excellent, that's great. I've got all my toilet accessories this time, so that's really good. But I still need to find my jumper for in there. So we'll see if I can come across that. Oh, that's the jumper. Oh, excellent. Awesome. And then I think, oh, I can do the next lot of bricks. And then we're going to have little green doors on this one as well. So we don't even get the pink doors. So where's my other door? Can you guys see my other green door? I'm expecting a lot out of you tonight. Oh, there it is. Excellent. Thank you. Right. Now we've got lots of these to add in. What time is it here in Australia? It is just after 11 p.m. So 11 o'clock at night. So it is getting a little bit late. Pucky is well and truly asleep. Yeah, I agree, Corno. But I think the thing that's interesting is that, much like what Tayshaun was saying earlier is, like he's been able to see how his building has grown over the past, year or so. And so I also think that it's really interesting to see how themes have also grown over time as well. Like I just sort of go back in 2012 or 2013, obviously the Lego designers were like, yeah, we're really pleased with how this is looking and we think that it looks really cute and it's really nice. And over time they've sort of gone, no, this is now sort of like the standard that we're expected to build to. And then we can even get more creative by adding in new parts. And, obviously there's a lot more faith in how well the Friends line is going to sell. So that also means that there's going to be more of an investment into what parts are going to be available and what colours are going to be available and all of that sort of stuff. But I also think that it's just generally, like over time, building has improved a lot, and the expectation from people who are buying Lego sets is also, has raised as well, is that we expect a lot more from our builds as well, is that we don't want things that are just sort of quite simplistic and I was going to say basic, but I don't think that that's the right word. Blocky, I think, is a very good word. That's the word that you used. And I think it's even things like, when you look at the shapes of the sets and simple things like that, like I just sort of go, I really, really like the fact that even now in the Lego Friends theme, we don't just get squares, whereas that's what we were seeing back in these times, is that everything was sort of like on a square, so we just sort of go, yeah, squares. Whereas, when we look at Andrea's thing over there, it's curved, and when we look at the little flamingo floaty build over there, you just sort of go, yeah, it's round. Like, there's the bar's been set a lot higher, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. The blue Cinderella. Oh, I like that. Cinderella blue definitely sounds like that. So here, Raps is saying over there in Spain, it's 5 p.m. Corne's saying, yes, it's the same in the Netherlands as well. So, yes, it's sort of in the afternoon for you guys, and it's well and truly into the evening for me. But that's okay. Tomorrow is Sunday here, so I don't have to get up particularly early or do anything much. I am hoping tomorrow that I might be able to pop over to my Lego room and do a bit more on my Lego city, but we'll just see how I go. There's a few other bits and pieces that I need to get done here, not specifically for Lego stuff, but if I get my chores done early enough, then it may include that as well. Like even here, like I just find it interesting that this is the shower part that they use, which is the white one. Again, perfectly fine, but it's got like the blue stud on the bottom. Whereas in both of these, where we look at showers or water or anything like that, we'd be using like a trans blue stud. So I just sort of go, it is just really interesting to see how things develop over time. So, but again, it's also one of those things where you just sort of go, it's nice to be able to see where we've come from as well. You know, we don't know how we've improved until we can actually look back and sort of go, oh, yeah, this is kind of cool. And I think it's also sort of sometimes quite nice to be able to then figure out, again, how we want to modify things and what we would want to do with stuff. Right, that's that bit done. Whew. Right, so we're now actually onto the swimming pool. So we'll see how I go with this. Oh, Pucky, yes, Pucky is very much sound asleep. I got Pucky in, I adopted him in 2011. So he is coming up to be 10 years old. He obviously still very much enjoys a good skip and a scamper around the place. So he still has a bit of a spring in his step, which is very nice. And to know that he is happy and healthy. Although I have noticed this year he is struggling a little bit more with jumping on and off the bed, because he does actually sleep on the bed with me, which is very nice. We like having a little cuddle in the evening times, and quite often it's nice to be able to wake up to lovely little Pucky in the mornings. But I do think that I might need to get him like dog stairs or something like that, because I think that his legs are getting a little bit sore from jumping off the bed, because it is actually quite high up. So I might need to sort of look into that. But what I think might actually be better is to see if I could get like a footstool or something like that, so that then he'd be able to sort of jump onto that and then onto the bed. And then it would mean that I would just have that out in the evening time when we're actually in bed. And then, yeah. And then for the rest of the time, I would just be able to shove it under the bed so I wouldn't fall over it when I'm going to use my bathroom or anything like that, because my bedroom's not that big. I can basically, it's just my bed and a chair. I can only have one bedside table, so my bedroom's not even wide enough to have a bedside table on either side of the bed, which is fine because Pucky doesn't really need a bedside table. But yeah, so yeah, and he is very lovely to have around. I absolutely adore having my little puglet here with me. Yeah, so he's going to be 10 next year. So, and then the other thing as well that I really need to try and sort out is his teeth, because his teeth have really gotten quite not bad, but it's just becoming more and more difficult to be able to keep them as clean as what they used to be. So, which also means that he does have smelly breath every now and again. And I do try and give him like chews and bones and that sort of stuff in order to try and clean his teeth, but I might need to find a better solution than that, because that's just sort of not really cutting it anymore. But again, he's okay. He's, really good and happy all the time, which is lovely. So yeah, I would definitely say yes, pugs are absolutely adorable. They're very, very lovely. They're very much like companion dogs as well. So he's always just happy to do whatever I'm doing. So, he does like his exercise, and he likes, having a little scamper around the park and those sorts of things. But he's not like a sheep dog or a working dog or anything like that that needs loads and loads of exercise all the time. And he is the thing that I wish that I knew about pugs that I didn't know before I got him, was that they do have really full-on fluffiness. So for a dog that only has short hair, he's really furry, and his fur gets everywhere, and it's really sticky fur as well, so it's really hard to get it off anything. So you do need to be very aware that pug dogs need a lot of grooming. So yes, or they don't need any grooming at all, but you just need to vacuum and sweep and mop regularly. So that's the other thing to keep in mind as well. So, yeah. But it is sort of just, again, it's just one of those things where you just sort of go, oh, okay, that's cool. But for a short-haired dog that is reasonably small, I didn't think that he was going to be producing anywhere near as much fur as what he does. So that came as a bit of a surprise to me. But yes, he's. But I'd much prefer to have Pucky in my life than not. So that's ultimately what it comes down to anyway, is that I'd pretty much put up with anything from Pucky because he's just lovely. Yes, exactly. He's very cute. I'm probably biased because, he's my little puglet, but yeah, he's very sweet. And yeah, and he's just very easygoing as well. So that's the other thing that I really like about him, and just a bit fun and funny. So yes, and yeah, the dark blue pieces for the water is really interesting as well, isn't it, Raps? Which is something that we don't really have in future Friends swimming pool sets either. So, and again, I suspect that that's just because this is all they had. So they might not have had any other option for translucent pieces, so they just went with this, which, is cool. Like, you can only build with what you can build with. So it's better that we got a swimming pool than not. But again, I just sort of go, it does date it though. I think that that's the main thing, is that it does become very obvious that this is a very old Friends set, like one of the very early ones. And it's also probably one of those Friends sets where I just sort of go, it's probably not really a set that's on very many people's wish lists, if at all. So I can't imagine anyone thinking to themselves, oh, I must have that swimming pool. Because while it's nice to have, it wouldn't be something that's that sort of different or new or exciting, especially when we compare it to some of the other sets that we've been talking about, tonight, like the Grand Hotel or the shopping mall and those sorts of things, where you just sort of go, yeah, they were real sort of standout sets. Okay, right. Now, let's do this little love heart. See how I go. I think Corne was just mentioning that in the comments, that the heart shape in the middle of the ball with the flowers. Yes. Right, whoops. So what do we do? 1, 2, okay, these ones. Oh, I'm going very crooked here. That's not good for my OCD. Right, and then we skip one and go out one. It's there. Right. Next little bits. Up one. Over one. Oh, I can't get hold of the flowers. Oh, and that's very crooked as well. Oh no. Right, 1, 2, 3 more. Cool. Yay! There we go. I got there. Yes, the colour matching is very strange in all of this, isn't it? Like even here, you know, it's just these details about having a white, then a brown, then a white. It looks a bit daggy as well, doesn't it? Right, so that can go in there. We'll chuck the ball in there as well so that we don't lose that on any of its travels. Oh, no, that's not yet. Don't know why I picked that up. Right. So, yes, I think having like a little pet or a little furry friend in your life is really nice. Like I do think that it is a wonderful thing, but I also think that you need to make sure that you're in the right place and time in your life as well to be able to look after a pet too. So, or, you know, there's other people in your life that would be happy to sort of babysit, you know, your animal or whatever as well. So I think that that's really important too. So, you know, I get really concerned and worried if I have to go away and I can't take Pucky with me. It doesn't really bother him because he can either stay with my brother or stay with my mum. But it's more for me. Like I'm so used to having him around now that I really miss him when I don't have him there. So, you know, I just sort of go, it is quite a strange thing that I got so used to having my little dog around that it's now a very strange thing for me not to have him there. And that's where I just sort of go. So I think that it is things like it's probably also quite good that I did like a lot of my traveling and that sort of stuff when I was in my 20s. So I'm less inclined to be that worried about that now. And then it's also things like he's really healthy and I've never really had to worry too much about vet bills and those sorts of things with Puppy at all. But then I also sort of think to myself, well, it would be really difficult if he did get really sick because, you know, I haven't really factored that in. Is that? That is right. Okay, that's a bit weird. Okay. Right. So yes, pets are fabulous and lovely to have around. I'm a huge advocate for having little pets in our life. Yep, basketball hoop was good, but I do think that this basketball hoop is very, very out of scale. Like when you see it next to a mini doll, I just sort of go, it looks ginormous. You know, I just sort of go, that doesn't look like a normal sort of size basketball hoop. And I know there is minifig scale and mini doll scale, which can be a little bit different to real world. But aesthetically, for me, I just sort of go, I don't really like this. And I think that it's because it goes white, brown, white. The basketball hoop's very large. I just sort of go, I don't know, that's not my thing. I do think that there is a ball over here, but I can imagine that that would probably just be more like, I don't know, floating in the pool, bit of just throwing it backwards and forwards, I guess. I don't know. I tend to usually just spend a lot of time standing in a swimming pool, either reading books or magazines and pulling out a bit. So I don't even have a swimming pool either. So it's been a very long time since I've even done that. So yes, but the few times that I've gone on vacation, particularly to like Bali, which is in Indonesia, so that's usually one of the most popular holiday destinations for people in Western Australia, since it's relatively close and also relatively affordable for us as well. But yeah, it's always sort of quite funny, like for me, doing that, because I'm just not much of a swimming type person. I'm more just a sort of floating around a bit casually type person. And often people are surprised about that, since in Australia we've got such a reputation for being into our swimming and our surfing and lifeguard and life saving and all of that sort of stuff as well. And I do have a lot of people who enjoy swimming and surfing and all of that sort of stuff too, but it's just not me. So, yes. Do you guys, oh yes, the Disney fairies, we're talking about that as well, which would be fantastic. I know that Lego Girl has done her Disney fairies as well, and they came out so well. They were so gorgeous. I absolutely loved how Lego Girl did all of those. So definitely go and check out her video on that on her channel if you haven't already. You know, you've got to just keep in mind that she is one of our like TFOs and one of our younger builders, but just so amazing and such a good job. And I thought that the parts that she'd selected for each of the fairies, I don't know that much about that range, that theme. But when I was looking online and comparing her mini doll repaints to the photos and the images that were popping up on Google, they looked really cool. And I definitely think that that would be such a nice theme to have as well. Like, completely agree with that wholeheartedly, of course. It would just be really nice to get more sort of like of the different Disney elements, rather than just always focusing on the princesses. As much as I love the princesses and as lovely as it is to have them with their sets, is that it would be really nice to sort of just mix things up a little bit now and again. Okay, and it looks like my diving board was already constructed, which came in handy, so I obviously didn't take that apart too much, thankfully. So I'll just get to add in a few other little details. But this one, it looks like it's going to be finishing soon. Oh, I might get things finished in 3.5 hours. So possibly around about then. It looks likely. So oh, okay, no, that's okay. That's okay, Raps. I can search for it. If you know that it's there, I can search for it. Because I definitely want to check it out. It's like, I know that even like a lot of the Lego Friends stuff is on YouTube, but it's really difficult to find that in an easy way. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just sort of find that a lot of the time with that stuff, it just seems like it's really difficult to find the right playlist and everything. So, which I find a bit of a shame, because it's always quite nice. Like for me, I just sort of go, I quite like just being able to sit down and watch it all the way through. And if I have to faff around trying to find the right playlist at the right time with the right thing, is that I just sort of go, oh my God, too hard basket, and just find something else to watch. And even things like, I find it really easy with like the elf stuff, because it just seems like with the elf stuff, it just sort of, you can get all of it. Like they have all of season 1 and one long video, so you can just watch it all at the same time. Right, ladder is in, flowers are done, some palm trees are up. Oh, now here comes that interesting tree corner that you were talking about earlier. Right. Okay, cool. Yep, I'll have a look at that. Yes, I think that there is something on the channel, but sometimes I don't know. Maybe I'm not searching the right thing, or I'm searching about things in a back to front sort of a way. I know that sometimes I do that. So that's okay. I'll get there in the end. There's no sort of real rush with any of that. So we'll just keep plodding along and see what happens. Right. Okay. See, it's even weird things like, I don't know why they used a tan round brick there when they could have either used a brown brick that's round or square. So I do sort of go, it's just a funny little detail that they didn't need to really do like that. And now I'm having little tree issues. Right. Okay. That to there. Oh, possibly I'm doing these to here. Maybe that's what I did. Right. Almost there, guys. It looks like it's coming along very well. Right. Our funny little tree is now complete. I might just move that over a bit as well. Yeah. Let's tuck those in. I've still got some random parts here as well, which I don't know. Oh, no, I do know where that one goes. Right. Okay. Okay, I don't know what those parts are for. So I'll just put those away for later. But there we go. Where are we? 3.5 hours. So a very long one, but we did get not one, not two, but all 3 swimming pools done. So obviously this one is the 2013 one. So that's that, and it's got its little bits and pieces here with it as well. And even through the chat, obviously you guys have picked up on a few changes that we would like to make to this. Simple things like taking away changing things up a bit so that not everything is a rectangle, I think, is one of the things. Again, making the colour palette a little bit more consistent with the Friends line now compared to what it used to be. So just things like being able to have the lime green here, the lighter trans blue bricks and stuff going on in here. So that's this little one. And some of its little side builds there as well. And then obviously this one was our middle swimming pool as well. So that came with these little accessories over here. So we got another little bathroom. We got the little juice hut. We got the lifeguard stand as well, which was really cute. I do like the little details that we had on here, and even like the little list of rules that we were able to finally find that. And then we have the little cabana as well over here. And then the very first set that we already built up, which we ran through in quite a lot of detail, is obviously this one, which was only from, I think, last year, wasn't it? So that's looking really cool too, where we got Andrea's stage, and it's all a bit more organic, and we've got a beautiful slide going on there as well. So there we go. So that's all our bits and pieces. So yeah, I think that means that we might be wrapping things up soon. So I'll just let you guys finish chatting amongst yourselves in the comments, but just be aware that I will be saying goodbye. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me again this week. It was really nice building up all of this. Next week, we will see how we go, and it will depend on what sets arrive. But I think hopefully if Diagon Alley arrives on Tuesday like it's supposed to, then we might build that one up. If not, then it might just be a little bit of a surprise as to what I can rummage around and see what I can find. So we'll just go with that. Also, just keep in mind that next week, I do actually have a friend's party in the afternoon. So I'll just have to see how I go with that and whether or not I think that I will be able to make it home by 8 p.m. to call. If not, we might then skip next week and then get on with Diagon Alley the week after. But just leave that with me. You guys will be able to see whether or not I post the little reminder card up. I usually try and do that a day or two before my streams. So, but again, you can, oh, hi Tayshawn, how you going? I've just finished. So we've got the 3 swimming pools that I built tonight. But I'm just saying goodbye to everyone and just letting everyone know that if Diagon Alley comes in time, I'll build that next week. But I also have a friend's party on in the afternoon. So I'll just have to see whether or not I think that I'm going to be able to come back here in time to be able to do a live stream. Otherwise, we might skip next week and then build Diagon Alley the week after. So we'll just have to wait and see. But there's lots of other things for you guys to be checking out on YouTube anyway, so we'll see how I go. But as always, thank you so much for stopping by and saying hello. It's absolutely wonderful to be chatting to you all. I really enjoy being able to stream with you guys and catch up and see how everyone is doing. And yeah, take care. Enjoy your weekends. Oh, there we go. Tayshawn might do a stream tomorrow as well. Yeah, just see how you go. I think that that might be a better way of doing things, is just seeing how you go and go with it. But you've done some really nice streams so far as well, Tayshawn. I've really enjoyed watching those after the fact, of course, because I think that they've been on in the middle of the night for me, but that's okay. Alrighty, everyone. So I don't know who else is in the comments, but Corne, thanks so much for stopping by. It's been really lovely chatting to you. Raps, it's absolutely amazing to have you in the comments as always. Brett, if you're still out there doing your spaceship mock, take care, mate. Tayshawn, it's always lovely to have you here as well. I don't know who else is still in the comments. Digital Magazine, it's always nice to have you stop by as well, mate. I know that Amy and Lego Girl and Atiz were here a bit earlier as well. So thanks so much to all of you for stopping by. Legolamaniac and Matt from Family Bricks as well also stopped by. So thanks so much for that as well, guys. And Bunny's Bricks was here a little bit earlier as well. So it was really nice to have them in the comments too. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone, but if I have, just keep in mind that it is coming up to be midnight now. So my brain fuzz is probably well and truly kicked in. So yeah, take care everyone, and hopefully I might see you next week. If not, it will be the week after, but in the meantime I should be posting a couple of videos as well. So I'll try and catch up with you guys in the comments, either on my videos or on your videos or on Instagram. So see you later everyone. Enjoy your evenings, enjoy your weekends. Bye.